Welcome into the Cam Strick Podcast, episode number 240. It's the holiday edition, Cam, brought to you by Hair Club.
Yeah, it is.
For men and women, and I've seen lots of people who are into Hair Club. They're wearing Hair Club hats and T-shirts, and certainly
down in Florida they are. Right.
Celebrating their experience that they're having there.
Yeah, man. I do want to give a little shout-out, though, to all the men and women. Memorial Day here in the United States. It's not really, you don't really say Happy Memorial Day. I think you just sit back and reflect on, and especially like growing up, I want to give a little shout out to my buddy Riley Baker, who passed away. He was the biggest stud in school. Me and him went toe to toe, tried to be alpha male. He was the toughest, won state wrestling, got all the girls, had his full ride scholarships anywhere he wanted to go. But he enlisted in 05, Andy, right when everything started heating up, overseas. Mm-hmm. And he was kicking doors down, man, and he got hit in IED. So little Riley Baker, we're thinking about you. A little shout out this
Riley
weekend,
Baker,
baby.
Man.
That's it. He's got a highway named after him, Andy.
Really?
In Eureka, yeah.
Oh, I think I'm familiar with that story.
He's the most popular kid out of Eureka.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is.
It's 2.
Not you.
He's 1, 100%.
Well, you may not even be 2.
Yeah, well.
You may not even be 2.
I'm just telling you.
You don't even live there.
2 doesn't
You're really not even from there.
Yes, you're right.
So
I just went to school there. You're right.
You're right. You act like you are like king shit.
Well, the internet says
you're not even one of the true homegrown people.
I grew up in Cedar Hill. You're absolutely right, which is way farther out. And then we moved in because
you
of Iraq.
You can claim Cedar Hill.
But I went to school.
Ain't nobody coming out of Cedar Hill. Okay?
But I went to school in my middle school and elementary school and high school at Eureka, Andy.
Right.
So, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself.
That kind of counts.
I mean, goddamn. Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I had to go to Canada afterwards.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I'm probably.
You think I just moved to Canada for no reason?
I'm probably ranked number 1 to come out of.
Well, look it up. It's all on the internet.
Out of Parkway North.
We looked on the radio. We were doing this on the radio the other day, and we looked up Parkway North, and it was pretty funny. There's a lot of guys out of all kinds of fucking schools in St. Louis, man.
Yes, there are.
There's like musicians and actors and studs and shit. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I used to think I was going to be in movies back in the day.
I know you did.
Yeah,
you still think you are.
Well, I'm waiting for that chance.
It's funny, man.
Maybe someone just call me up. I mean, I could play a number of different roles, Cam, from serious to comedy.
You know what role you should play? A good podcaster.
Oh,
that'd be a good one. Like a good, successful podcaster.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Cam says
Andy wants to do everything but what he's doing now. It's so funny.
Every time I want to do something,
we have the best gig ever. Andy and I had the best gig ever. We have our own radio show. We can do what the fuck we want on there, say what we want. We have a great boss. We own this goddamn thing we're doing right now. And Andy thinks about doing everything else but this. Like, this is the easiest gig possible. Mm-hmm. Like, why would you want to do anything? How would we take this to the next level?
Listen,
like you want to be an actor, you want to be a boxer, you want to be a pro chef now. He's a barbecuer. Like, goddamn, I'm surprised this weekend you're like, I want to get in the military. Like, no, you podcast.
Yeah, I know one person that was in the military who I went to high school with as well.
Just one, really?
I think
in
so.
Missouri?
Maybe there was a couple.
I know you guys don't.
I mean,
where you live now, there's probably not much going on with that. But damn, where I grew up, dude. It was like every other person.
Yeah, not where I grew up.
Elks Club's packed every goddamn weekend.
No, I never went to the Elks Club.
I know.
I did go to the Creve Coeur Racquet Club all weekend long, though, man.
Big party there. What'd you guys do?
Oh, man. It actually is really nice.
I bet.
I'm not gonna lie.
This is probably nerdy.
It is. No, it's not. Like very like interesting people. You meet different people. You know a lot of the same people too who have been there.
I know. I get.
But it's very like I don't know, man. Like,
what do you do? Play racquetball and shit?
Well, you can play pickleball. You can play tennis. You can do any of that if you want.
Is there a golf course?
No.
Is there a big swimming pool for the kids and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
man.
And you can they waiter.
Good looking chicks cruising around. Do you have to have your glasses on?
No cash. Cocktails, unbelievable food. They got an indoor dining restaurant. I mean,
that's nice. Then.
They got indoor courts, outdoor courts. They got a full-on gym. It's actually like a.
Oh, I bet you use that big time.
Well, I have gone there a couple times. Sometimes I'll try to go. Gym. I'll try to go in.
Like, in all honesty, all those things I just don't do. Mm-hmm. Like I'm getting up and golfing all the damn time. That's my thing. Pickleball, I ain't into it. I had a couple of my buddies come out this weekend. That's City Boys, Andy. Mm-hmm. And they came out and I showed them a good time out yonder.
It's a long drive.
And we went on the side-by-sides and we saw animals and stuff.
Like what kind of, like a deer?
Well, bison are out there. There's bison farms. And stuff. Didn't I show you all this?
I didn't see a bison.
Well, why don't you open your eyes up?
I'm very familiar with bison.
I mean, my God, so.
Did you see my tweet that I sent to John Butcher Gross, by the way?
No, I didn't, Andy. I don't just follow Twitter.
Okay, people are saying that you are going to have an absolute meltdown when you see this.
Why? What happened? Well, he chirped me?
Well, no, he did not. He did not.
Okay, then what?
Because he eats a ribeye every day. After his workout, he eats a ribeye. He had a picture of his ribeye.
Yeah.
And I sent him a picture of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent it back to me. He gave me a bunch of emojis, American flag, the strength. Yeah. And people are like, Cam is going to have an absolute meltdown when he sees this picture.
Did you tell him how you cooked it?
No, we didn't really have to. We didn't, the conversation ended right there.
Then he's probably, Andy, that thing tasted like leather, man.
No, it didn't.
It kind of had to have. You know, you can't cook a good steak.
So again, the real OGs, man, the real barbecue people, the pit masters,
Andy,
who I associate with, my people, they recognize game when they see it, dude, man. And they saw it.
You've been doing this a long time.
Well, that marbling that was in there, man, that's what separates me.
Well, the steak was good. You just done fucked it up.
That's not
you
true.
Jamie Benn it, dude.
So this is what.
Yeah, I know. We're looking at a picture right now. Okay. We're doing a podcast.
Yeah, I know. So
I
this
see
is
it. That's a good looking steak. I told you.
I know.
You like to brag about things you do, don't you, on Twitter?
Well, so this is
Andy's a Twitter bragger.
Now look at that response.
That's badass, dude. Cool. That's really cool. That's badass.
Underneath it, see
little
that?
does he know.
You might have a nervous breakdown. They said, huh? Nervous breakdown. So
Andy,
how are you handling it? So you are getting a little fidgety right now.
Yeah, man. I'm rattled to the core.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
You gonna be okay, or
I'll be all right. I barbecued yesterday.
What'd you make?
I'd make some ribbies.
Did you use that barbecue sauce that I gave you?
No. I like the mullet, man. I'm a North County.
Mullet?
That's North County style right there.
They still make that stuff?
Yeah.
Malls?
Yep. It's a Missouri.
Wow, that's old school.
I like it.
Do they sell it outside of St. Louis or no?
I believe so. I think
it's very tangy, yeah.
Just like Lowry's salt. It's a Missouri thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jane's Crazy Mix salt. I just like barbecue. Man, I ate.
You ever try ghetto sauce?
I went to bed last night.
You ever try ghetto sauce?
No.
You never had that? That's out of St. Louis, too.
I went to bed last night around, honestly, 7 o'clock. I just
really?
was so gassed.
Wow.
I got up and just barbecued all day, ate myself, fucking hung out a bit. It was beautiful down here, man. Watching some games, doing this, doing that. There's drama in hockey. There's drama in basketball, which I don't really care about, but our boy Jason Tatum.
What's the drama?
Well, they're coming back.
Okay, well, that's not
it's
drama.
still...
That's excitement.
Well, yeah, it's still exciting drama. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about
drama
that.
Is
and he's correcting me on a fucking Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning. Sorry.
Drama's
no, you know what I mean.
If somebody sends you a text and be like, what'd you say about me?
Yeah. No.
Did you really say that?
Well,
that would be drama.
Okay, I get
this is excitement.
I get your point, but it's still Butler's the tweets and the actions that the basketball players do to each other.
Jimmy Buckets.
Now there's a little fucking drama, and I kind of like it. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's no big deal. Sorry about my verbiage.
Well, who's gonna win the series?
Don't give a fuck.
Well, who's going to win it?
I don't know. I have no idea. Now I just know it's going to go to Game 7, right?
Yeah, well, they are going to a Game 7.
So that's the drama.
You think Boston comes back and wins it? Or?
I have no idea. I can't even evaluate basketball. I have no idea. No idea. I like Boston. I think it's a bigger market for basketball. I think it'd be better for them.
Or is it 3-2?
And Jason Tatum
is it 3-2 or 3-3?
Jason Tatum used to hang out with Matty Kachuk back at Chaminade and stuff,
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Whatever. Mm-hmm. But I'm rooting for Matty. I don't give a fuck about basketball like you do. I know you love the WNBA and all that shit, but I like what's going on with the hockey series.
The other ballers are probably looking at Jason Tatum and be like, you went to a rich boy school, basically.
Oh, yeah, you did. You fancy lad.
I mean, it's
some of them gangsters are
they're coming straight out of the inner city, going to hardcore schools, and
Jason Tatum's hanging out with Maddie with their hair, with their little outfits on, hi.
And I don't want to mention the other guys too, because I know they're great people, but one of them was one of the son of one of the largest oil tycoons in St. Louis.
No, they had it
in the country.
They had it okay, Andy. And that's fine.
How it is.
That's fine. But some of the gangsters are probably what's up?
But
it's all good.
With that being said, I went to a couple graduations last week, Cam, high school graduations.
And he can't say no to anything. He has to be around. Him and Timmy Peel, they're everywhere together.
And a couple, two very affluent high schools in St. Louis.
Yeah. And
a lot of diversity, man, a ton of it. And these schools, they recruit you to come play sports for it. It's like 35,000 a year or something like that to go to these high schools. Maybe even more than that. I have no idea.
We couldn't afford that.
Could be less than that. I have no idea. But I think it's somewhere in that range. And they literally recruit kids to come play football and basketball.
Yeah, I know, Andy.
For these high schools.
I know.
So it's not like I don't want to sit here and pretend that like Jason like grew up the same way these other kids did, but he went to their high school.
Yeah, no, I know. It doesn't matter anyway, man. He's a good dude. Like he doesn't act like John Morant, like he's gangster. Like he knows he grew up and he had a good thing going, and now he's taking advantage of it. Now he can come back. But again, who cares about basketball? There's some hockey going on.
Well, no, I sent you some, what? I sent you some WNBA
we
stuff
got some,
too, didn't I?
Yeah, that was sick.
That girl that had the she had the dog in her. I told you
she had that dog in her. But Andy and I we want Vegas to win. We might be going out there watching a game. Mm-hmm. Going to Vegas for 48 hours, 24 hours is a thing to do, and so we want Vegas to come back and kind of win this thing. No one wants to go to Dallas for the most part. Even Florida, it'd be cool to go to Miami and stuff. But seeing a game in Vegas, although I'd be rooting for Maddie. I want Maddie to win. I think that's 100%, right? Yeah. We don't have that much skin in the game.
No,
but
I like seeing Barbashev do his thing.
Yeah, I like Barbie too. And
Barbie's
Petro.
cool as shit. And Petro.
I like that team, Andy. They're cool.
I do. I like Jack Eichel, man.
Yes.
You know? But who knows if they're even going to get through. Like Vegas, like pick your shit up.
Let's go.
I mean, they just lost their captain for 2 games.
We got skin on it now,
and you can't even like close it out. So I don't know where this thing's headed. And I'll tell you this, man. I feel like Vegas was going to give Florida the better matchup. And listen, I could be wrong. Maybe Dallas would be a great matchup, but you know, it's a little different. Like the energy level you have when you come back from being down 3-0 versus if you're up 3-0 and the opposing team forces a Game 7, even if you win Game 7, I think mentally you're probably a little more exhausted and tired versus the team who were down, and if they come all the way back and win. Like, they're like, hey, let's go. We're ready to go.
Yeah, different energy.
They're feeding off that type of adrenaline, you know?
This is going to be interesting, man. And they'll get some sparks. Some people online are so funny. Should they dress Jamie Benn in this game? Like, what? You're not going to dress your captain? Like, what? Of course you are.
They're winning without him. It's like,
but you still fucking
isn't it amazing how it works? I feel like, I don't think Boston won a game with Patrice Bergeron in the lineup.
I know.
Against Florida.
Yeah, but he's better in the lineup, unless he's hurt.
I know.
But Jamie's not. For the moment, like, he might have a couple things going on with him.
What do you think of what he did, though?
Horrible.
Man? I think it was stupid.
So dumb. Dude, you lost. And you know how I am, if you hit a guy weird because you're making a hockey play and hitting him, and you catch him and you clip him in the chin, like, that's not good, but... At least that's a hockey play, man. You're trying to hit somebody. You're trying to get him off the puck to make a play.
I think he's a little dirty, man.
He is dirty. And he is. That's okay. Like, I like him.
I don't love him. Put it
well, you asked me when I did, and I'm explaining it.
I know.
But, like, it wasn't a hockey play, and you used a weapon in your hands. Like, again, you fucking could have really fucked him up, broke his jaw, fucking concussed him. Mm-hmm. He could have wore a wired jaw brace. But he didn't. But it could have happened. Like,
Petro could have broken Dreisaitl's arm too, and he didn't do that, and he got 1 game. I thought they should have given Jamie Benn 1 game, not 2.
2 is fine with me. 2 is fine.
Well, 2 would have been fine for me if Petro got it. I'm just going by the precedent. If you're going to give him 1 game for tomahawking one of the top 5 players in the league.
Yep.
Where the puck's not even around, and it was completely intentional. It wasn't like a reactionary play like Jamie Benn, where he knew what he was doing, but it was like in the battle. This guy's trying to cut him underneath, whatever, coming from an angle, and he got pissed, and that's how he reacted. Petro was pissed because he was getting his shit run.
Yes, he was.
And this is how he reacted, and he thought the game was basically over, empty net, whatever. And he said, this is my chance to get him back. Man, I thought that was dirty, man.
They're both dirty, dude. What, cross-checking a fucking temple ain't dirty? Yeah, they're both dirty. And don't act like Ben took a big hit from Stone there and got rocked and he didn't know what he was doing.
Didn't.
No, it wasn't anything. Mm-hmm. No, he got fucking pissed because Stone's been running the show, probably chirping him all game long. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. That was premeditated, dude. He thought about it. He skated after him, fucking cross-checking right. But
Jamie Benn, hey, listen, you and the Dallas Stars, do something.
I know.
Like, get to a final. The bubble doesn't count.
No, it doesn't.
I've said it over and over. It upsets people.
Goofy bubble.
That doesn't count. Get to a real Stanley Cup final. This core's been together for so long. You've got a great nucleus around the core. I mean, when you look at the star power they have with some of these young guys, I'm talking about the additions that they've added from their old school core of, the Ben and the Sagans. Haskinen's been there for a couple of years. Now you got Jason Robertson doing his thing. Yeah. You go out and get Pavelski, who just gets better and better by age. I mean, people start talking about him being in the Hall of Fame and stuff
don't take penalties in overtime and, like, with a minute to go in games. Like, I just don't do it. Like, you're fucked.
Carolina,
and didn't fucking Dallas.
I thought it was a stupid call.
Just saying, though.
You don't need to call that. Like,
just saying.
If I'm a referee, You got Jordan Staal, pretty honest player. And, yeah, he got the guy low. It's in the offensive zone. Listen, there's under a minute to go. I did not want to see that game as much as entertaining as it was and as exciting as it was. And this Matthew Tkachuk, man, is something else. He's unlike anything we've seen come through here in a while in terms of the ability to come through at the biggest moments in one playoff year is exceptional. Like, we haven't seen too many players do this, Cam. We see guys who come through who are clutch, but, like, he has like an NBA flair to him in terms of hitting like last second buzzer beaters and stuff like that.
Oh, he gets in front of the net.
You know what I'm saying? Oh,
it's a goal.
So once Florida went on the power play, I knew that game was over.
Well, that's my point.
I knew it was over, and I didn't want to see the game end like that.
No, I know.
And Rob Bernardsmore was like, we didn't get swept.
Yeah, he did. They were close games, but you got swept.
I know.
You got swept, man.
But
it's all good. His eyes looked goofy when he was talking at the end of the game. He looked like he got concussed.
I was talking to like some of those players that they're like he can't stand still. Like he's moving around nonstop on the bench, very fidgety.
Yeah, I know.
And that's why he works out all the time, probably.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I got a little bit of that in me too. To be honest with you, I'm a fidgety motherfucker.
Yeah, you're fidgety.
I know, and the reason why I'm not as fidgety now is because I got my mind right before I came here.
Oh, really? Is that what settles you down?
Kind of, Andy.
Yeah, it settles you down. Well, whatever it takes, man.
Yeah, act like
I'm fidgety.
Who are you kidding?
I'm very fidgety. I can't sit still for long periods of time.
I go like this with my knees. Like,
I don't do that. I settle down with the knees. I don't do that as much.
I bite my tongue and shit. I look like I'm fucking nuts.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, kind of.
What's wrong with you?
Well, you're around me every day. You don't notice it?
Not like that. I just
you don't see me like this. And
I'll do some of that too. Yeah. I think everybody does that, Cam.
And he's like, "Whoa, what do you mean, Cam?"
Cam's like, I move my knee up and down. I'm crazy. I'm like, okay, a lot of people do that. Okay, you're not the only one.
All right, then I'm not.
Okay,
that's good. Well, that's one day I'm not crazy. I'm normal then.
Hey, getting back to the Dallas Stars real quick. Just like come back, and this is supposed to be their year. I want to see them actually get to a final and see what they can do with it.
Fuck that. I want to go to Vegas. I want Vegas to play. They're more exciting to watch. Vegas as a whole, just like I don't have skin in the game with those two teams, man.
No, they're way more exciting.
Like they're just more exciting. That's all I give a fuck about.
Dallas is not very exciting.
They're not. Vegas has shit going on. There's gonna be celebrities there. There'll be like cool party. I guess it's cool. Mm-hmm. It's a fucking entertainment center of the world.
I love going to games there.
Yes, man. Andy. That's what I'm rooting for. Mm-hmm. Pure entertainment.
Mm-hmm. I've been to games in Dallas. I don't care about the Stars
history.
And games in Dallas are fine. I've been to playoff games in Dallas. Several playoff games in Dallas. Dallas is
cool as hell.
Dallas is a fun city, but it's way more spread out. It's just like you're like after the game, like where are we going? You know, it's like like in Vegas, you just.
Well, you're like, where do you want to go?
You just get out and you go wherever you want. I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, I just think they have a more entertaining.
It's the best setup in the league. Dude.
I like those players on Vegas. I do. Mm-hmm. I like them. They're fun.
I like that Mark Stone too.
I like that Mark Stone. He's in your face. He pisses people off. I like Jack Eichel. He's doing his thing. Makes crazy plays.
Mm-hmm. He's drying up a little. He's drying up a little bit though, Jack.
He tries to pass the puck a little. Dude, he's got such a badass shot. Like.
Crazy
release.
Selfish
once in a while.
Yeah, I know. But he's had some breakaways he hasn't come through.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
nice breakaways. Like you had time.
I don't think he scored a goal. Let me say this about Jack, though.
I like him, though.
He gave the best answer to a question that he was asked, I think on ESPN.
What?
They asked him, because he hasn't scored a goal in the series, you know? Like all the reporters, everybody's like, you know, thinking everybody should just score like 7 goals a series, you know, like everybody, you know, sometimes it's hard to score.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes other guys got to score. Sometimes you're still doing things that still help your team win, even if you're not scoring. Matthew Tkachuk didn't score in the entire series against Toronto.
I know.
You know, and now they want to like build a statue for him. You know, this guy's doing interviews with TNT basketball.
Hold on that, because if he goes out and he lays an egg against in the Stanley Cup final, that's what you're going to think of him as.
Well, you never know, man. It's hard to maintain that.
No shit.
You know, but like
good players do.
But they asked Jack Eichel, how do you assess your performance this series? And he made it all about the team. He didn't answer the question about me, how I'm doing, how this and that. He was like, we're doing this while we're doing this. It was just a perfect answer, man. He came across like he'd been in the league for 15 years, man. I love the answer. I love his composure. I love how he's handling himself on the biggest stage, man. The NHL needs those type of stars to be able to be visible when it matters the most this late into the season, man. So I give it up. Big-time props to Jack Eichel, man. He's a hell of a player. This guy was a phenom coming in to to the NHL. I remember, being at the draft when he was drafted back in 2015 in Miami, and my wife came with me. We're hanging out at the pool. We were with another couple, and you had like McDavid and his crew hanging out on one side, and you had Eichel and his crew hanging out like on the other side of the pool. And the Eichel crew, man, they just seemed like loose. They were chilling.
Really?
They're partying. They're having fun.
Do you talk to them?
Yeah, absolutely. But they were the 1-2 combo coming in, right?
Yeah, I know.
It was always like McDavid versus Eichel.
And that's still the case, too.
So who knows, man? Now all of a sudden, you can't pick where you go. You go to an organization like Buffalo at that time,
you get rocked, man. You get rocked for a decade.
You do.
And now you're like, fucking Vegas. Like, okay, I'm getting my groove on in the playoffs. Like, it's cool to see. Look, man, Jack Eichel, you get that first cup over McDavid. Doesn't mean you're a better player than him, but you get that. That's the ultimate thing.
Pronger was at.
I'm sorry.
So listen, there was a good crew that would hang out at the hotel bar late night after these nights, and I remember, I'm not going to say who the player is. I'll say it like down the road, but his dad. We're all chilling, like having drinks, whatever, and his dad says to Chris Pronger, and then this kid was projected to be a top 5 pick, and he said, "I just hope he doesn't go to Toronto."
Oh, really?
And Pronger goes, "Who the fuck do you think you are to decide where you go?" He's like, "You don't get to choose. You go where, like, this is the NHL, man. What's wrong? You don't want to go to Toronto? Like, are you kidding me?"
I'd say you don't want to go to Arizona, maybe. Like, as a kid, I'd go to Toronto. Yeah. Like, hell yeah. Then you get.
But I mean, like, some of that, listen, you're about to like get drafted in the NHL. It shouldn't be about, like, I don't want to go there. It's like.
I see that part of it.
You think Brady Tkachuk probably wanted to go to Ottawa?
Hey,
you know what I'm
want
saying?
to go anywhere you get picked.
But then he goes there, where a lot of people probably don't want to go to Ottawa, don't want to live in Ottawa, and he's making the most of it. And now they got a great core group of players surrounding him. And, I don't want to speak for him, but he probably loves it there, man.
That's a Pronger move, too. You don't go to Pronger and bitch about you're negative about the draft. No. Don't fucking do that to him. Like, that's ridiculous. Now you're right, Andy.
He's like, fuck you. I went second overall to Hartford.
No shit. Exactly. No, you'll go where the fuck he's fucking picked.
Exactly.
And you'll take it and you'll like it.
And you'll love it. This is the National Hockey League.
Jesus.
You're about to get drafted in the NHL.
That's
and
how
you're
you
complaining about where you might go.
You're going to put bad vibes in your kid, actually. Mm-hmm. That's what the fuck. Oh, we hope not. Oh, no. You'll like whatever the fuck you go, man. Mm-hmm. That's how it is. You should be excited no matter what.
So this family, and I got to know the dad a little bit, that they were there for like a week and a half, Cam. Obviously, we weren't there that long, but their room was right next to ours. And they partied late night every single night.
Did you complain?
I would never complain. I can sleep through anything. I went over there and partied at one point. And because you saw them downstairs.
Were they getting down with it?
Oh, yeah, the party is like the bar closes. They took it back up to the room. Their kid's about to get drafted.
Well, I'm just saying.
They're having
like
fun.
Partying a week.
I don't want to say where they're from or anything because it would give it away. But my wife calls the front desk and complains.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, my God, this is so embarrassing.
Fuck that.
She's like, I can't sleep. I mean, it went on for hours and hours. Now it's like 4 in the morning, 4:30. And she's trying to, like, sleep.
Were the kids in there, too?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
they might get down with it.
But she's one of those that will do that occasionally. Oh, yeah.
Honey, I'm checking it out
they
again.
were cool as shit.
Wait a second, honey. I'll be right back.
Well, she knew. She got to know all of them, too, man. They were right next to us for a couple of days. But, like, I would never, if the neighbors are loud, I would never call the police. Like, I just remember being a kid, man, somebody calling the cops all the time.
And you're not down there for work. You're down there at a party anyway. That's not work.
But once, like my wife, dude, I don't know about you. Once she like wants to go to bed, dude, she wants to go to sleep.
Every wife is like that, Andy. But sometimes, man, like I don't know what to do in that situation. I've had worse situations than that. At least you know that the people there. Mm-hmm.
Would you call the front desk?
No, dude. I'll just.
I was so mad.
If they're getting down with it, I'm knocking on that door.
Like, I don't know what you mean by that. It was loud. It wasn't like
4 o'clock in the morning.
No. There was like laughter and loud laughter.
Okay.
People slamming doors, falling down.
Oh, that's
like,
obnoxious.
You know what I'm saying? It was
that's
like,
obnoxious,
it was one of those type of noises. It wasn't like, no. I'll give you an example of that. When I was a landlord, I had this dude who lived.
And he's got stories today.
This dude lived on top of us for a little while. I owned like a 2-family flat. And so we lived on the bottom floor this is like back when we were dating. But he'd bring like, his girls back over at night one time. One night it was so loud, dude. I mean, so loud. And my wife is literally pounding on the ceiling above us, okay? Like just being like, hitting. And she's not crazy. paint the picture for people. No, she's not like.
Well, I don't know her that well.
Okay, well, she would.
She might be crazy in situations like this.
When she wants to go to bed, dude.
Yeah. A lot of women are. It's all good.
A lot of women.
That's not different.
Okay, so she's hitting the ceiling. Anyway, the next day, this dude comes and knocks on my door, and I'm thinking, the only time he knocks on the door is when he's paying rent or something like that. And I open the door, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know how to say this, but can you hear the banging?"
Yeah, I can.
I'm like, "Yeah, I can hear the banging." Okay, and it's like, dude, that was loud. He's like, "I apologize," and he starts getting in. She's crazy and blah blah blah. I'm like,
oh, yeah, she was a fucking weirdo too. She was.
I don't know who he brought over.
She was probably really freaky.
So I was like, yeah, just settle down a little.
Yeah, settle down. I could actually envision everything you're doing up there, and I don't like it. Yeah,
no, I didn't like that either.
She's probably not that good looking.
It was so
either.
loud, dude. It was disgusting, actually.
I'm sure you really told him though. I'm sure he was really.
It's
scared.
not my style. I don't get like angry, and I'm not like,
I know.
What the fuck,
I don't like
dude?
controversy.
I'm not like that.
I don't like controversy like that unless it's necessary, man.
Like a road rage incident, I never get road rage.
Just get away.
Did you hear that story though?
Get
about
away from it.
That kid.
What?
I guess there was like a fender bender in a parking lot of a grocery store. The 73-year-old man was pissed, and I guess he initiated the conflict. And he may have even gotten physical with like this kid. I don't know if he was a teenager.
Oh no,
low 20s.
Just get away.
They got in a fight.
Nope.
The 73-year-old man hit his head on the concrete and died.
Oh, yep. There you go. You can't do it. You can't do it. Even if you think you're in the right, like you hit a guy, they hit their head off the concrete, man. You are going to be in fucking court for a long time.
I don't think he's being charged though, because there were witnesses.
Dude, I'm just saying though, like they're going to sue. Dude, there's going to be civil. God, it's just not worth it, man.
Well, what do you do?
You just say, fuck my bad, get away from it. What do you mean, what do you do? Get away. Just get away.
People are crazy, Cam.
Dude, they're honking at you. Don't pull over and get out of your car, especially you. Are you out of your mind?
Happened at the grocery store.
It doesn't matter. Get away. My bad. Get in your car and get the fuck away from me.
Give me your insurance.
Wait, somebody hit him already?
Yeah, they had a fender bender, and the guy got pissed. A 73-year-old man.
Okay.
And he flipped out on this kid.
Give me your insurance.
And the
call
kid
the
probably
cops.
Pushed him or get away from me, dude. And
get away.
The guy hit his head on the
I thought that it was like somebody honked at somebody. No. That's what I mean.
You thought he followed him in there?
Yes. If you get into a fender bender, you got to stand your ground and be like, hey, I got the cops coming. Just wait for the cops to come. They're going to come anyway.
Yeah.
And then explain yourself. But if you're in a highway or you're going down these back roads and you got some fucking shit kicker behind you and he's on your ass and you can be like, I'm tough. I'm Andy. My kids are in the car. Your fucking kids are in the car and you got some hillbilly boy out there. No. Don't fuck with it. Let him go back. My bad. Go ahead. Get out of here. Get the fuck out of my life. I got shit to do. Don't fuck with that shit.
I've got friends
You'll get your ass kicked.
Do that
Somebody
type of
might
shit.
shoot you.
When you're on the phone with your buddy, and all of a sudden he's like in the car, and all of a sudden he'll be like, "Fuck you, ass!" at this fucking guy in front of me. I'm like, dude, just settle down.
Calm down. Remember I yelled at the cyclist the other day? I felt bad about it.
Well, you shouldn't do
that.
I
shouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying.
That's being a Hoosier.
That's a Hoosier move on my part. Now, did he piss me off? Yeah, he did.
Where do you have to be? Are you in a rush?
I kind of was because they'd have a traffic jam. I had reason to be mad, but I shouldn't do that. I was mad at myself, Andy.
This guy,
and I would have bagged his ass up.
Cam would never. They wouldn't even allow you in like a mountain town.
Man,
like get out of here.
I mean, they allowed me where I'm at now.
They'd be like, get out of here.
I'm pretty, dude. I don't do that.
You don't respect all the people.
No. That's where you're wrong, homie. At least I admit, like you're telling stories from back in the day. Like I let you know exactly what goes on with shit, and I yelled at the guy, and I felt bad about it. Mm-hmm. I'm open to everything. That's a Hoosier fuck move. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, like you just don't know who you're messing with, especially around here where you're at. At least I know the hillbillies out by me.
I'm sorry if I'm a little distracted. I'm thinking about my barbecue already for today, dude. I've got so many options.
I'm gonna do it too. I don't know what I did. Ribbies yesterday.
Why don't you guys come over?
Man, I'm already out, dude. I already drove 45 minutes to meet you today.
Just stay here. Tell her to meet you out here.
No, I don't. I want to go home. Yeah, I want to go home.
Do what?
And probably,
are you golfing today?
Probably.
Well, I'm not.
No, it's Monday. I don't think I can.
No, you can't.
No,
you can't.
Well, although, at nighttime, we're starting to do. We got these glow balls, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's all, dude. I want you and Laura to come out. I swear to God,
dude, I'm free all day.
But listen, all you guys out there, like I do try to hang out with Andy as much as I can. And I know, like, I bring my buddies out and stuff but I want Andy and Lori to come out and hang out with Kate and I. But you guys gotta understand, Andy's like it's a weird thing. He has a fucking weird problem with himself. Or if I ask him to do something, I'll be, hey, dude, 11 o'clock, you got to be here. We got a tea time, 11:15. Let's get a Bloody Mary and get it organized. Well, how's 12:30 then? No. That's not how it works. Well, Chloe's got something with her cousin's friend, and then I was supposed to go to a graduation party for my third cousin, and no, okay, then we'll do another day. Another day comes around. Hey, dude, be here.
You're like
at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, I got to be there at 1:30. It's got to be 1:30. It doesn't work that way, Andy.
Why?
It doesn't work.
Because we have a tea. What time can you be out here?
Dude, I do.
Set your tea
You're like,
time.
well, I don't know yet. But here's the tea time. Can you come out now? Here's where I want to go.
I know.
I don't want to wait till afternoon.
Peelsy's saying the same thing. He said he's not inviting me over anymore.
It's just you're just bad at that, dude.
Well,
you are really bad at that.
There's a lot of shit going on right now. It'll slow down in June, man.
You're not the only one.
No, I'm not.
Just so you know. I'm the best at it.
Hey, all y'all out there, if you have kids, man, who are busy as shit,
I know.
You know exactly
guys,
what I'm talking about.
I know, but I'm just trying, dude. Just so you know, I'm trying with
I know.
You. So, but there's guys that don't have kids.
That do the same thing.
That did the same thing.
Oh.
Just did it to me. Good buddy of mine. Just did the same thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. You don't even have kids and he did it. Like, you can't be on time. Like, you cannot schedule a time where you can't do it. It's a weird thing that happens in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
You have it. Other buddies have it, and it's really, really annoying.
Yeah.
But you have an excuse because you have 3 kids. But on the other hand, it's like, okay.
And it's all true. Now,
but still,
as we get into like June and July, dude, you won't have the same type of issues.
There's a lot of things. Anytime I do anything, I'm like, Andy and Lori pop up first to invite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We appreciate that. Yeah.
But it's so fucking brutal because you just don't know with Andy. He'll show up 45 minutes late.
We'll come out today.
Man, I don't want you today. God.
We are
doesn't
coming.
work that way.
I'm telling you, we're coming.
No, today I'm done today. I already came out and did my thing. My brain's done.
I'm just going to show my wife St. Albans, dude. We're looking to do it for like a day trip.
Let me know.
She's like wanting to take Ivy strawberry picking. I'm not doing that.
Oh, that's cute as hell, dude.
I can't go though.
There's all kinds of stuff to do out St.
Albans. I'm going to take Ty to a quick little stick and puck. That's why we came in early today. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so like in a couple of weeks, I got to do a golf tournament.
You'd rather do it earlier than
I know, but I'll always adjust my schedule.
Yeah.
Early is the best. Like, let's get it done. Let's get up. Our brains are fresh. Let's go. We have the rest of the day to do
But you're fabricating, kind of like the Toronto media talking about like Doug Armstrong.
Okay, maybe, but like that's kind of how it is. Anytime I invite, there's a couple people in my list that I invite, and I'm like, damn, I don't know if they're going to be here on time, and I can't do that when it comes to tea times. I'm
reading a newspaper column today, and it in Toronto. Well, it showed up on Twitter. I just clicked on it, and sure as shit, they're like breaking down all the reasons why Toronto should just go after Doug Armstrong, and then it says,
of course he should.
Then it says they should go after John Cooper. Like, listen, the Maple Leafs,
what money?
Fans and media, like not all the fans, because I don't want to lump you guys into this, but some of the media, like, there's so much arrogance surrounding this organization. They just think, well, we can get anybody we want. Well, we just named the person, and we're just going to go out and get them. It doesn't matter who it is. We're going to get John Cooper. We're going to get Doug Armstrong, and we're going to get Steve Eiserman probably too, We're just going to get everybody, whoever we want.
Lou.
And bring Lou back. Yeah. Okay? It's like, what? I'm not used to seeing this when teams have – it's like Pittsburgh. All the speculation is about Kyle Dubas, who just got fired, so we all know that he doesn't have a job, so he's available. I don't hear Pittsburgh being like, we want Doug Armstrong and John Cooper and Steve Eiserman and everybody who's under contract and works for another team because we're Pittsburgh, so we can get whoever we want. That's the attitude that I'm feeling from Toronto, and it's starting to bug me a little bit. It's like you can't just decide what you want. Like, it doesn't work that way, especially when you have individuals who are under contract.
And American.
And Toronto, very good source, has not even picked up the phone and asked for permission to speak with Doug Armstrong. They haven't even called the Blues. So it's like everybody's talking about this. Like, go talk to Brendan Shanahan. Find out. Are you interested in Doug Armstrong? Have you made a request to speak with him? And now they want John Cooper, who's in Tampa. You think Coop wants to come and coach the Toronto Maple Leafs, man? It's like,
that's where they're off a little bit. I just did a thing up there too.
They are off.
I go, like, especially like a Canadian. Yeah, that'd be. If you're Canadian, you're from that area. Like, damn right, Toronto. And like, besides the money part, because they probably overpay for you if you're a GM or something. Like, I get that. But if you're American, it's like, I don't know if that interests you as much.
Who's American?
Well, John Cooper?
He's not American.
He's not?
No.
Is he from Canada?
Yeah.
Well, then delete this.
Western Canada. No, keep that in there.
Keep it in there.
Keep it in there. I mean, this guy, he's Western Canadian.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
He seems American.
He does.
Because he's been here for a while.
I know. Well, he basically is.
Yeah, well, if I'm him, I wouldn't want to go
Well,
up
if he had the choice to live in the States or in Canada, he probably would stay in...
I would say he'd stay in the United States.
The States. And especially from a hockey standpoint.
And he loves this right now, by the way.
Why?
He's going to have this clipped off, make me look like an
No, I won't. No, I won't. But you think John Cooper, he's got one of the best jobs in the league.
Yeah, he does. Great job.
And every free agent or any player would want to come play there.
You can still hide down there and shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're in the water. Like, it's nice, man. Making good money.
And he's made some connections with some, like, celebrities and stuff like that. He does his thing. You know, all I'm saying is, so that's just kind of annoying.
That was a good point,
dude.
man.
It's
a
like,
good point on you.
Stop saying you the least should go after all the. It's almost disrespectful. Yeah. Like, somebody has a job. You think your job is so superior to every other job in the league that you think you can just start naming, well, we should go after this guy. Well,
get him all.
John Cooper has a contract with the Tampa Bay Lightning. So you can't go out and get John Cooper unless Tampa Bay, who just lost to you in the playoffs, is going to give you permission in the event that John Cooper would even have interest in going to Toronto. And I don't think the Lightning are looking to say, yeah, you can have our coach. Yeah, go ahead. We're going to give you permission.
We'll find somebody else.
Or the St. Louis Blues, who just missed the playoffs and are pissed that they missed the playoffs and have one of the biggest off seasons in recent memory for the organization. They've got 3 first-round picks, and the draft is a month away. And they're going to be like, absolutely. Yeah, you're going to take our general manager and take our head of scouting, too. Just take everybody.
Take them all.
And we'll just find a few fans who want to come in and make the selections, you know? Like, you know, it's like,
a good point, man.
You know, it's like, come on, man. Plus, as we said from the very beginning, you know, Doug Armstrong, who just won a gold medal. We'll give him a shout-out, man, with Hockey Canada. Sammy Blais had a great tournament. Jake Neighbors, man, I saw a graphic yesterday.
How'd he do?
Good. I had a graphic yesterday. You know how they have the chip and all these guys, you know, they can do all these analytics. He reached the highest top speed of any skater in that tournament.
Really?
At like over 37 miles an hour or something like that.
Breakaway or something?
I don't know.
Back checking maybe?
Like when I watch Jake Neighbors play, the first thing that comes to mind is not like extreme speed, but he can get going in on the forecheck.
He's always moving.
But yeah, man, he was.
I wonder how he
and
did
Sammy
that.
played a lot together.
I wonder how he built that speed up. I wonder if it was like a forecheck where he looped around
see the highlights.
and then back checked or something. That's interesting to me.
I know.
I like that.
I know. So I need to see the highlight. But they played a lot together. Sammy Blais, man, is one of the best kept secrets in the National Hockey League.
Did you watch a lot of those games?
I watched a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't like watch start to finish.
I know.
I watched really a lot of the team. No, dude, they were at like 7 o'clock in the morning, Cam. It was great.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, it was coming on early. I know you're doing your radio show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for me, to sit down and watch a game early in the morning, it was unbelievable.
Have your coffee.
Yeah. It's not the best competition, let's be honest. I mean, you look at the names on this roster, and these are not Olympic rosters, obviously. It's not filled with NHL superstars, but it's a lot of NHL players, and it's good hockey, man. And it's a good opportunity for certain players, like, to help themselves on the big stage. Sammy Blais is due to make $1 million next year. Okay, this guy came over from New York, didn't do anything in New York, except really hurt his knee.
Yeah, he fucked his knee up bad, yo.
Was it Subban who did that to him?
Yes. Remember the little slew foot thing where he kind of hit him from behind?
I think it was Subban.
Remember he did like 3 times that game? It was really weird.
Too much Subban?
Slew man.
Because you're starting to figure it out, too. He's too much at times. I like that he's different. I'd rather watch PK have personality, or anybody for that matter have personality, versus someone who's like just vanilla and puts you to sleep.
They're wearing those goofy like tennis shoes the other day.
Were they?
Yeah. They're just old school, and they're not loose like I would think they would be if you're partying with them.
Right.
You know, they're more like, I'm going to be Robotronic.
You want to watch people and be like, this is exactly how they'd be if we were just
but that's not them. They're too structured, in my opinion.
A little bit.
But then you know, Subban's like on the complete opposite side of that, and I think he might need to rein it in a little bit.
But maybe he wouldn't need to rein it in if
those guys are just a little.
If there was better chemistry, like there's not great chemistry.
Those guys are
on
very
the set,
very straightforward. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah. But if you hung out with Charlie and we're hanging out, like he's probably like da da da. It's just I don't know. I kind of want a little bit of that.
Where I think, you know,
right?
I feel a better connection, and I know a lot of the individuals on the TNT set better. Like, I've been around those guys private settings, whatever, and I feel like this is kind of who they are.
I know, even Tocchet, like, he was just like, that's exactly how he is. He's like, well, like, man, what's up?
Chelios, like, this is the guy that like would like book like late night private jets for his team to go watch a Kid Rock concert during the World Cup. Back in 2004. They would leave.
Be that guy.
And like, he was a big time partier, and living in Malibu.
Matt's doing his thing in New York, like,
hanging out with celebrity actors and stuff. And Messier's dating Madonna. How'd you wheel Madonna?
I know, be that guy. Remember the night you wheeled Madonna, which is easy to do, by the way, because she's banging everybody.
Okay,
but
especially when he was a big time star.
I'm just telling you, she's banging everybody. Ask Norm Macdonald about that on Saturday Night Live. Anyway, but like Mess, like,
he passed away.
Just yes, he did.
Brilliant comedian.
He's one of my favorite top 5 ever. Yeah. But those two, like, they're very smart. They're stoic. They're too stoic for you. Now you're entertaining, dude.
Yeah.
This ain't like we got to break everything. No, you're Mess and you're fucking Chelios.
That's right.
Be the fucking. Walk in like, what's up, Subi? Like, chirp Subban a little bit more.
Right.
Get on him. Hey, why don't you calm down there, kid? You don't know what it's like. Chirp each other a little bit.
Right.
Maybe they're scared to do that with him.
And that's what...
Maybe.
But that's what, like... Shaquille O'Neal will say that to Charles Barkley when Charles is getting too loud. You don't know what it's like to win because you never won.
You don't know. How do you know? You don't know.
Which is like...
You could say the same thing.
Cutthroat chirp.
Yeah, but it's true. But you haven't won. Mm-hmm. There's something you did that didn't get you to the next level. You were the big dick.
Yeah.
I don't want to don't copy verbatim, but there's other things those two could do to put him in his place a bit.
But see,
and then they could chirp back. He's a younger guy.
Listen,
like, I don't know.
ESPN, you know what's interesting?
That's ESPN too,
you know what's interesting? I mean, look it up. They're getting chirped for their NBA coverage too. So it's not just hockey.
I don't watch that.
So like TNT blows away ESPN
they're cool
on both sides, and like TNT, like, they're smart. They got the Miami Heat going right now against Boston. They're like, okay, we also carry the National Hockey League. How are we going to cross-promote and get people into hockey? Oh, we'll just bring Matthew Tkachuk on the set for an interview. You know what I mean?
Charles talks about Matty and blah, 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 blah.
It's like ESPN would never think to probably do that.
But on the other hand, Charles watches the games.
He does.
Barkley legitimately
says he does. I mean,
dude, he'll break it down for you. No, he goes to everything. We saw him at the Stanley Cup. Like, he just goes to it. Like, he does like hockey. He's been talking about that. You know this. He's been talking about hockey for a long time. Shaq doesn't watch it. Ernie doesn't watch it. Kenny don't.
You know who he's close buddies with?
Who?
Is Coop, John Cooper.
Probably.
He is.
He's close buddies with all those guys.
I know. But like, that's why he was going to Lightning games and stuff like that.
He's one of my favorite people ever.
Oh,
Charles Barkley. And Shaq. Actually, and Ernie and Kenny. I like all of them. I don't even like basketball, and I love those guys.
Yeah, I know.
I love them. They're awesome.
Did you watch the interview with Matthew, though?
Yeah, I did. It's all over everything.
It's funny, man.
He's great. Matthew but he doesn't act cool.
No.
Like, there's a certain, like, goofiness about him that makes him, like, likable.
Yes.
Until you watch him do shit to your teammates or to your team that, you're going against. Right. Like, you'll hate him. But if you see him, he's just like, hey, man. If you text him, Matty, he'd be like, hey, dude, here's the deal. I'm flying in there. I got to do this. Here's my timeline. Can I get you there? Like, most people are like, man, I can't do it. Like, he's got to.
Yeah, but he'll get right back to you.
I know.
And you know what?
It's different.
I'm trying to,
a little different.
You got to respect people who are in the mix, but like, he'll get back to me every time, man. Like, he is that type of person, And like, I'll give you an example. Like, the kids, his celly after he scored the game-winning goal.
They all do that now.
Now they're all doing it.
Of course.
And my kid scored a goal and did the same type of celly, and I sent it to him.
I saw it.
He was just like, they're like real people. It's like, I always break down the Tkachuks because, obviously having Keith as your dad, one of the highest paid players in the history of the game. I mean, they grew up, obviously, having a lot of advantages.
Damn right they
in life.
Hanging out in the locker room with all of us.
St. Louis, where your dad's an iconic sports figure. And, they're going to the best schools. They've been gifted with this incredible talent that he and Brady obviously have, man. They're just incredible hockey players. I mean, I keep hearing about, people ranking the top American-born players in the NHL right now, and people are, like, forgetting about Brady. Like, you better put him in there.
You fucking
It's like, is it Austin? Is it Matthew Tkachuk? Is it Adam Fox? Is it Charlie McAvoy? Is it Jacob Slavin? Like, you better put Brady
it's all
Tkachuk
of them,
in
but
there.
Brady's in that mug.
Oh,
dude.
yeah, he is. He's in that mix. He
Damn
just hasn't
right
been able to show it in the postseason. You do it in the postseason, it takes you to a different level. But Keith Tkachuk, like his dad, up until like a year or two ago, just a couple years ago, just retired. He was a captain of a fire department in Boston forever.
Dude, badass.
Forever. His mom was still like going down, working on the docks, like the lobster docks and stuff like that, man.
Shit kicking.
Like hardcore.
Yep.
And so that's how Keith grew up, like with that type of mentality. And I truly believe that Matthew and Brady, like they share some of that mentality as well. They may have grown up, obviously, with a lot of money and a lot of advantages because of who his dad was. But I think Keith and Chantel did an unbelievable job of instilling that mindset of, hey, yeah, you may be the son of a wealthy professional athlete, but we come from here, and I think they got that mindset,
course,
man,
dude.
and that's what gives them that advantage.
It's funny though, even like when you talk to Walt back in the day, like how's Matty and how's Brady doing? He needs to get. Hey, he didn't do this. It's never like, no, they're unbelievable. He scored 5 goals. They're unbelievable. Right. He scored 5 goals, but he's gonna be like, no, he had a fucking piano on his back that game. No, he didn't do this. Like, it just always kept him in line. Yeah. You can't be too negative because then the kids are gonna be like, Daddy, I own that whole game. Don't lie to me that I fucked up one. There's a balance to it, but it's always self-deprecating, and I think that's healthy.
It's like I love it when I get the text from
unlike what you said, talk about yourself.
Angry parents.
Oh God.
And they're like, why aren't you talking? You don't talk about my kids. It's always the Tkachuks. Well, dude,
do something.
It's like, well, look at what they're doing.
Do something.
Who is the best American? I still got to put Austin Matthews. Number one, dude. Listen, I know he hasn't done it in the playoffs and whatever, but
he's still unbelievable. He is.
But he scored 60, and he is a legit threat for the Hart Trophy every year he plays.
I know. No, I know.
So, I mean,
I don't think he
and Adam Fox is a hell of a player, and McAvoy is a hell of a player.
Fuck yeah.
All I'm saying is this, man, is like Canada's roster will always be loaded regardless. And this is why I want to see an international tournament. Now with like people recognizing just how good Matthew Tkachuk is. I don't think people like knew how good he was because, you know, some of the other antics that he was involved in early in his career, going toe-to-toe with Doughty and Cassian and like getting suspended and all that other type of shit. You know, last year gets 100 points. I still got to put Johnny Gaudreau up there, man.
Yeah.
And Johnny Hockey goes to Columbus, which, you know, I think if you would have told me before last season started that Johnny Gaudreau would have the season that he had, I would not have been surprised.
Yeah. In Columbus.
In Columbus.
I know, man.
You know what I mean?
Just slows everything. You're in quicksand there, you know. And we love, we love the people involved in the organization. Don't get me wrong.
It was just a little bit of it was such a surprising decision.
It was.
You know.
I think he just wanted to get the fuck out, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who's paying me the most? Let's go.
And that's exactly what it was. Because you know how people
still
to this day, they bring up, like, Philadelphia. I can't believe he didn't go to Philly. I can't believe he didn't go to Jersey. From what I understand, Columbus is the only team that offered him the contract that he ended up signing, that max deal. So
yeah, well, then there you go. Money talks, Andy, no matter what.
So whenever a player comes out and be like, my wife and I just wanted to live in Columbus. We love it here. It's quiet. It's close to our family. We just no.
No, you got money.
You got money.
Hey, Columbus
is a great spot to live.
I know.
Man. So they probably
you're an American.
They went and looked at it, and they
he is an American.
Oh, dude, we could easily live here.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, he's an American.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Coop thing, man, I kind of like.
Do I need to like start doing like a geography test with you?
Geography test.
Is he American or Canadian?
I just don't know. I didn't know the history of every player like you do, Andy. I was doing things, whenever you were studying stuff. I was playing.
I went to college. And
I didn't care about anything but myself for like 25 years. Now I got to like look at the world in a different place and dissect it every day.
You didn't know like other players on the other team and stuff? Like you didn't know who they were?
Yeah, when I was playing I did. Yeah, but I didn't I wasn't like obsessed with hockey then.
You weren't.
Even when I was playing, I wasn't.
I know a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I know. I think Shane O'Brien will admit he did the same thing. Like it's the same kind of concept. Like just was worried about what am I doing every time.
But like,
and that's stupid to do that, by the way. I should have figured that. But I was into other things. Like I was still into like conspiracy theories and politics and stuff like that. But the hockey, I'm just like, I'm sick of it. Playing every damn day.
But for you to be that into hockey in your post career, you had to. I'm not talking about you specifically, but like OB or anybody. I mean, you had to
get into it.
You had to be like into it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's people are gonna. You can monetize your knowledge. You just have to pay attention. It's not like you don't know the game or you don't know. You just gotta keep up with everything. Right. It's not about not knowing
Anybody
shit.
can do it. You have a name. You have the credibility of playing in the NHL. You got to keep up,
and that's the hard part.
Keeping up is the hard part.
That's why I give you credit. Like, you know what the fuck is going on every damn day. My mind is everywhere. Mm-hmm. That's why we have a good balance with each other. You know what I mean? So if
but I'm still not like glued to like every I just gotta watch hockey like 20 8 hours straight.
You're pretty fucking glued to it. You're in the 0.0000001%.
It's my job hockey, though. I would hope what I'm saying. Anybody, if you're a lawyer, you better be into.
Even your radio show's all hockey, dude. Mm-hmm. I gotta watch Cardinal baseball all the fucking time.
Yeah, but I did that forever. Dude.
I know you did.
You know what I mean?
It's hard, isn't it? Give me some credit.
But
it's hard.
Here's my feeling on that. Because if I wanted to do like a daily show right now and get into that, like I probably could.
I know you could.
But it's not where my passion's at.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, I like it now. It's easy because my teammates on my show know so much about it. They're involved. So I just have to know enough to kick it to them and have an opinion.
And I could easily do that.
Well, yeah, you could do it in college basketball. You could do. You know about football. You know about You know about WNBA. Yeah. You can certainly know about women's sports. You know, like you do. Like you could touch up on everything.
I certainly do.
You know,
I just don't have the passion to like.
No, it's not.
Watch.
I'm not a big sports
every
guy.
night.
I'm liking it.
And I know, but
it's so relaxing.
I thought about going down to the game. You want to go down to the game tonight?
No. Fuck no.
I got tickets for you.
I don't want, dude. I don't need tickets.
Green seats.
It's all good, man.
Green seats. It's
I'm
all you can eat and all you can drink.
I know what it is. It ain't that cool. I like watching.
Oh, you can see the spin on the ball.
The hockey or baseball in the background, man. It's just chill.
What's the hardest thing to do in sports? Is it to hit a baseball? You think?
I would say the hardest.
That's got to be one of the hardest things. 100 mile per hour.
It depends on what sport you're talking about. Baseball, like in all sports
with spin, like movement.
I mean, you're not. Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough thing to do.
That's a tough thing to do.
I would say. I'd say take a hit in football.
Oh shit! You know, every hit is a car crash.
You know, and no shit. That's why we go these golf tournaments, man. The baseball players, retired baseball players, retired hockey players, but the retired football players ain't moving that.
Shaquille's like, I don't even watch hockey, so I'm just gonna say to you right now, you're a good player, and I wish you the best of luck, but I don't watch hockey.
I know.
And Chuck's like, man, I love that you can get 2 minutes. I wish I could get 2 minutes for hitting Shaq across. If I had to leave the air for 2 minutes and then come back, I'd hit you upside your head right now. It's like, they're like hilarious.
Dude, it's the best of the best. It's the best of the best. Because that's, in reality, that's true. Like,
just be yourself in the interview. You don't have to like turn, like you can't be an expert on everything.
Yeah.
So they can't all of a sudden pretend like they're like.
No, I like that.
An expert. Like let Matthew like explain and break it down.
Yeah.
You know?
I like it. Fuck Shaq, you know. Like, again, though, like, we gotta get these kids playing hockey. Well, they're playing basketball. There's a lot of money in basketball. Basketball's easy to play.
It's hard to make it, though, man.
It's easy to get in. Yeah, but you could be a college basketball player and fucking be set up for fucking meet some people in college. You know,
not everybody, but yeah.
No,
you could play college hockey and all of a sudden
if you're
network.
No doubt, if you're decent at basketball and your grades aren't that good, they will help you. Mm-hmm. They will help you get by.
Yeah, but nobody's asking you how good your grades were in college.
Huh?
No one's asking you.
I'm not talking college. I'm
talking, you know that, like,
I'm just saying, like, if basketball, like, if you're pretty damn good, the coaches in your schools, even if the school's shitty, like, they're going to want you to succeed. They're going to help you as much as you can. Now, you got to stay away from the bullshit, but you're going to have people that are going to try to help you if you're a decent athlete.
Listen,
that's all.
I want my kids to go to college and all that, but, like, in reality, in today's world, with the internet and all that and the options out there, you don't even need college.
No doubt, man. You could do so many different things. You
could have used some college. Okay, just to like learn
how to what?
Read and
No, that's
write.
high school. No, that's middle school shit.
Yeah. That's
I need middle school stuff. I know,
elementary school.
Like, if you want to go toe-to-toe me with politics and stuff like that, I can hold my ground with a lot of people. And just like in society in general, what's going on, what's going around the world, things like that, current events I'm really good at. So college, I don't know if I need that. I need to go back to goddamn elementary school and learn how to fucking write. I can't spell anything. I don't remember like the mathematics, but although you do have a calculator, I don't know how much math I need on a daily basis. But there's a couple of things. I'd go back to language arts. I'd love to go back to in history class to some of my teachers and really pay attention and ask them questions about different wars that went on and stuff like that. That's what I'd like to do. I want to hang out with my history teachers.
Do you?
Yeah, dude. From my fucking high school.
Were they cool back then?
Yes. Yeah. All my history teachers are awesome. Mm-hmm. So fucking one class, I'm like, this is badass. I love it here.
Yeah, if I had to do it all over again, I would have paid attention. And
I know, I would have too.
Yeah,
but I was in my own. I said, "Fuck the world, Andy. Let's go. I'm playing hockey and I'm doing my thing." You know,
that's what I said.
Fuck the world. Let's go.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know. No, you didn't. I hope you didn't. That'd have been dumb if you did that.
You know what I told myself honestly?
What? At
a young age. Because I've got it on a poster board when I was like in 3rd grade or something.
Yeah.
Because I just knew, like, hey, if you can't make it as an athlete, why not go into broadcasting, man?
No, I know.
It's the next closest thing to.
Is it?
Being in the.
I'd say coaching probably would be.
Well, that's kind of like being a player, though.
Yes, right. Didn't you just say the next closest thing? I say that broadcasting's not
part of the team, though. The next closest thing to not being
part
of the team.
Okay, part of the team. Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I get that. You're around the guys all the time and stuff.
Like you're just in the mix.
Broadcasting's tough, man. Like it's tough. They're long hours. I work with guys, man, that work fucking long ass hours.
But I probably wouldn't encourage my kids to go into broadcasting. You know
why?
I just probably wouldn't. I mean, if they wanted to, I wouldn't discourage them from.
They're obsessed with sports, man. That's all you need to be.
Really?
Be obsessed with sports. You're obsessed with what you like. These guys that write for the Cardinals and fucking Blue, like they're obsessed with it, and you need to be. You know, I'm not.
I don't even know if they're always obsessed with it.
Oh, the guys that write for the Cardinals?
Maybe. Yeah, they probably are.
Are you kidding? Follow them. That's all their whole life is, dude. You have to be.
Baseball
all fucking day
would be the one sport
hardest,
I would never want
to
cover. Your entire
Football's
summer
the easiest.
is shot. You have no summer.
You have no summer. You're there every night till 12 o'clock at night. Some of the games are till fucking 1 in the morning.
Like, hey, kids, I'll see you in the winter when you're in school.
No, Andy. No, exactly. There's no days off. It's unbelievable. You're there all hot, 150 degrees out. Mm-hmm. You got to go. You got to go and you got to watch every pitch, every second. Boring games.
I was talking to a big league ball player, his wife, one time at like an event. And she was talking about that, how they can't ever go on summer vacation, dude. And the only time they can vacation, they literally have to pull their kids out of school for like 2 weeks to go on like a real family vacation.
I know. It's too much. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. It's a lot, and you got to do it over and over and over and over. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And baseball's boring. It could be very boring. Now, thank God there's a pitch clock. But fuck.
Still boring. Now I don't even understand what's going on. Like, players are getting like, they're out for like doing nothing.
Yeah, get the fuck in the box. No, man, you got to get up the plate, dude. You can't fucking strap on your goddamn straps.
They don't even know they don't even know the rules.
They know now, and they're getting dinged for it. Fuck you. You got to strike. Get out of here. Get the pace going.
They gave a guy a strike who was like being recognized by the fans, and he was
stupidest thing in the world.
That's what I mean, man. It's just dumb.
Well, in that instance, that was a dumb thing. Mm-hmm. But if you're fucking up at the plate, you got to get in the box, dude. Keep the pace going. I like it. Some of these pitchers would have a 40-second windup. It's horrible. Some of the guys on the Cardinals would do that. It's like, Jesus, let's go.
Oh, my God.
Let's go. Imagine you had to watch every pitch and jot it down.
It's like watching golf, honestly. Although
sometimes
I like
watching golf. Now that I play all the time, Andy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I could sit, even there's a senior tournament yesterday. I sat and I watched that thing, the seniors. And their granddaughters.
Who won the tournament?
I think the guy's name was Strickland or something. Stricker, yeah. And so his granddaughter was caddying, and she was a golfer in high school, and so it was cool. These guys are so. Yeah, if you're a golfer, man, like I appreciate it now. I used to hate golf. If you're not into golf and you watch golf, you're like, that's the most boring thing in the world.
That's how I was.
But now that you're into it, you're like, oh, what's he using there? Oh, and you hear the verbiage and. You know, you're around golfers all the damn time.
Listen, I'm
golfing with the Attorney General
Wednesday. I know. Good for you. So if anything goes down, you got to have that relationship.
I'm nervous because I go, is he not good? And my buddy's like, no, he's not good. I'm like, okay, I'll do it with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
He's
supposed to be cool. He's
watching.
He's our age, by the way.
Is he?
Yes, he's an 81. I'm an 84, but you're an 81, aren't you?
Somewhere around there, yeah. I like watching.
No one knows.
I like watching barbecue.
So do I. You fucking ain't right.
Barbecue competitions.
I love it. Now, I'd say those.
I'll probably send Bucci.
I'll
probably send him a photo later of.
I'm sure he's really looking at you like, oh, Andy's the real deal when it comes to this. He just doesn't want to be a dick because he knows that we'll fucking bash him on here. Probably.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, we would if he was a dick.
I bet you, some people with the ESPN, they know, like the old school guys that are trying to like. It's gotta suck, man, when everybody's just talking about TNT all the time. You know what I mean?
They're getting paid. I don't think they're that worried about it. I think they know that they got to figure a couple things out and make it more entertaining.
And TNT could even be better. You know what I mean?
They all could be better. Everybody could be better. We could be better. Shit.
So it's not like,
ain't that big of a deal.
I'm not trying to say everybody's perfect, but they're doing a hell of a job, man. It's better than it's been when you think about hockey coverage in the past where it was on the Outdoor Life Network.
Well, even on SportsCenter and stuff, like you get to watch highlights and shit. Now they're behind the WNBA highlights, but they're still there.
It's funny because like Scott Van Pelt, like you can tell he doesn't even know.
You don't think he knows about hockey?
Not really.
Scotty Van Pelt?
Kind of
that guy's been there for a long time.
Yeah, but he jokes around about it. Like, how do you say this guy's name? He goes, that is the Clarence Campbell Trophy. Like it's just he's being funny, man. He does it in a very like.
I get that.
He's
that's
like, he doesn't want you to think that like he's some expert either. He's just that's
how
he connects to like.
I appreciate that.
The overwhelming majority of Americans watching SportsCenter, they're not hockey experts either. So you can kind of
funny.
Yeah, just be funny.
Just be entertaining and make the sport look good. That's all.
Pierre Dorion's on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast.
Yeah, he was cool.
You need to increase your energy level today.
Oh my God, it's Memorial Day Monday, man. It's 9:00 in the morning. What do you want me to do? What did I do? We talked hockey. We broke down what's going on with hockey. What do you want to know? UFO sightings everywhere. They're there.
I'm not seeing any of those.
They're everywhere.
Oh,
they're getting ridiculous. Yeah, they are, man. It's weird. Very bizarre.
Is Snoop still in the running?
I thought he was.
Pierre Dorion is listening to Snoop on the golf course right now.
I do feel like if Snoop was the owner, though, he'd be around, like, wants to be in the mix, wants to be in the locker room, probably, like, bring the boys and smoking rips and shit. Like, who knows?
Maybe.
You might have to, like, put your foot down on a couple things with him.
I did say, though, like,
fuck, that'd be a little wild.
I think he discovered the team was in, like, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, not Ontario, California. So he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, but Ontario, California is not that nice either, I don't think.
It's not, but it's closer to him than L.A., For when you live in L.A., you're not too far away.
But if I'm him and I had the money and the people around me, hell yeah, I want to own a team. I'd be in that locker room all the time. Like, what's up?
I don't know if you would be, though.
I think I would.
You got to spend a lot of time in Ottawa then.
Well, just like go see games, fly in, fly out. You're flying private. You got to go through customs.
But I would be the same way. If I ever owned a team,
I'd see the guys all the time. I'd
be around them. I'd be sitting next to that GM every game too.
I wouldn't fuck with the GM as much.
I wouldn't be, but I want to know what they're saying during games. Listen,
I see that.
So
I get that.
It would not be for everyone. I respect the owners that don't do that.
Me
that
too.
Kind of like sit in their owner's box, watch the game from that standpoint, because I think it's a bad look when you have an owner sitting next to the GM.
But if you know hockey, man, you're watching what they're watching, okay?
But if I'm a GM, I don't want the owner sitting next to me.
No, fuck no. I think I do let me do my job. Oh, hey, let me ask you something. Like, if you're Clayton Keller, who we love, are you like, get me the fuck out of here? What are you thinking?
If you're putting me in his shoes?
Yeah.
Or are you asking me what I think he thinks?
No. If you're there, what would you do, Andy?
Get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here.
Out of here, man.
I see everybody else playing in the playoffs.
What are we doing?
I see everybody else on center stage. I see everybody else getting attention.
They're probably eating like, Spam sandwiches.
I see everybody else playing in like big time arenas.
It's just.
I see everybody else making fun of us.
I know. Like, we're forced to.
Like,
you're doing it.
I can get a place in Arizona. I can go there whenever I want. I could spend my entire offseason there if I wanted to.
I know. Get me the fuck out of here. I don't blame him. If he does, and he puts his foot down, like, I just don't blame him. Like, I'm like, okay. Like, I'd be like, I just don't blame you. Get the fuck out of there. How? What's he making, 7.5? Had 85 points this year? after breaking his
leg?
I
bet you.
Shit, I'd take him.
I bet you.
7.5.
Gary's probably telling the Coyotes, like, listen, if you're going to move, if this team's going to move, the value of the franchise is at a certain number, right? If somebody else were to, like, if they were to sell the franchise to an ownership group in, like, Houston to say, or wherever. But if I'm the guy in Houston and I'm talking to Gary, I'm like, Gary, yeah, we want the Coyotes. We'd be interested in the Coyotes. Maybe more interested in an expansion team anyway. I see what Seattle did. I see what Vegas did. That's what I would want. I don't even want the Coyotes. I want an expansion team.
I know.
But if you're talking about relocation and you want me to pay a relocation fee and you want me to buy this damn team, well, I better have Clayton Keller on the team.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
So Gary's probably telling Bill Armstrong and the ownership group from Arizona, you better not trade that mother. You better keep him because I got people who are interested in potentially bringing the Coyotes on board, but you got to have some star power, there, man. You got to have the star power.
You got to have the kid from, St. Louis with that flow going on, although he is from Illinois. Yeah.
He's from St. Louis originally, Chesterfield.
He's at Chesterfield, then he moved to
Swansea,
Illinois, which is right there anyway. Doesn't matter.
Basically St. Louis.
He's a good kid. It sucks, man. He's doing fine. Like, don't feel sorry for the kid, but on the other hand, it's like you're a superstar. You need to be somewhere else.
That Lawson Krause, who had a hell of a tournament for Canada.
Yeah.
At the World Championships. Like, he's a damn good player. Like, I feel like certain players, I just can't look at them the same. I don't give them the same credibility because it's like Lawson Krause. Damn, that guy, he's a beast. He's a handful. He's a big body. He's tough to control or contain on the interior of the ice near the goalie, near the goal crease and in front of the net. Like, that guy's a hell of a player, man. I feel like he doesn't get the credit or the credibility he deserves because he plays in that fucking organization.
The children that come in for free cotton candy, are they going to tweet about him? No one's watching. It just sucks, man. No one's talking about it.
You think Gary should just continue to try to save the franchise?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know logistics with all of it, but it ain't good. You got to find. Is there no billionaires down there just like, hey, we got a little area for you. We'll build something right here. I don't know. I don't know how it all works, man. But it's not good.
That head coach they have, though, is a hell of a coach, though. I've heard some great stuff about him. Andre Torigny.
Okay.
I'm probably mispronouncing that.
Okay.
Because you've never heard anyone ever say his name. But he was good at the junior level. And Arizona was pretty good last year. I mean, they won a bunch of games down the stretch. When you look at the roster, they don't exactly have a great roster, but they actually did okay. And now he's the head coach of Canada at the World Championships. Like, he's got a little bit of, like, extra. Maybe Toronto, hey, listen, and Sheldon Keefe isn't even fired yet. Who knows what's happening there? So all the newspaper writers that write that you should get him.
Yeah.
Go get him.
I mean, it's nice that they have a nice coach. It just doesn't matter. They need to move. They need to get out of there.
I think it's better for the NHL to be there because it's a great destination.
I'm just saying.
Players love living there.
Of course.
Players love going there.
Figure it out.
All right, let's get to Pierre Dorion.
Yeah, dude.
He's cool, man. Lots to get into with him. Hair Club and hairclub.com, proud sponsor that brings us the Cam Strick Podcast, Cam, every single week. And they are getting it done right now. They've got some amazing things that are happening with Hair Club, including that pill. Explain the pill to people.
Well, I mean, you can get surgery done. You just go in there and get your consultation.
Explain the pill.
Motherfucker. Like, you take a fucking pill and your hair grows back. Like, who cares? That's the easiest thing to fucking get into. Mm-hmm. Good God. But there's other things that you need. If you're losing your hair, you need treatment, man. Like, you got to go get your fucking consultation. They'll explain exactly what's going on with you. The pill's just like a side thing that you take. You got to get things done, but they'll explain everything to you. You could finance the damn thing. It's easy. Get on it now. It's the easiest thing in the world. Just walk in there and they'll explain everything to you. Where you're losing your hair, what they can do, what treatment they can do for you. There's all kinds of treatments. It's just not the pill. But Andy doesn't know. So he tells me to explain a pill. Like, that's just like part of it. There's a shit ton of options.
There's a solution for everybody.
Yeah, dude.
And the pill is one of the solutions.
Yeah, it's a minute solution.
Over 1,200 locations, Cam.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Everywhere.
All throughout Canada, too, including Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver.
Damn right. They're everywhere.
From East to West Coast.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yeah. Were you more into East Coast rap or West Coast rap back in the day?
I like both of them.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah.
Hey, you can't like both.
I like Snoop and I like Biggie. They were both cool.
Yeah.
And if you grew up in the 90s, I'm a 90s kid, man. So I grew up in the 90s. Like, it was, so all the girls were listening to and shit. So, like, it made you feel good when you listen to those songs. It reminds you of hanging out with hot girls.
Yeah.
You know? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's why I like that music. Boning Biggie, just boning Biggie.
Bones, Thugs, and Harmony, dude.
Bone Thugs, baby.
Listen to them,
they're pretty cool. Busy Bone.
I would listen to DJ.
California
I would
Love.
to DJ
like
Quick. DJ Quick and Too Short, my two favorite rappers.
Too Short were cool.
Can you tell Jason to give me a little DJ Quick and a little Too Short?
That's fine. You could do that.
You can spell short, the S with a $sign like he did.
And he was gangster back in the day, you know.
Hair Club and hairclub.com. Call him today. 800-279-7878. Hairclub.com/Cam and Strick. Use our landing page and use it today.
Damn right.
First Form and firstform.com. Listen, man, of all the great products that First Form has, and First Form Nick, by the way, he's like traveling all around the country.
He's everywhere. Yeah.
He's in Scottsdale. He's in like Florida. I don't know. I can't keep up. He's everywhere. Looking forward to that event we're going to next Saturday, though, man. We're going to have some fun out there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to show
you
Cam.
might be the smallest guy in that
Cam what a good time is.
You might be the smallest guy in that goddamn thing. I have to protect you.
My God.
Be a bunch of jacked.
Like, huh? Look at that
people.
guy.
Like this guy.
Put him in the barbecue pit.
Yeah, no shit. He must work out. But yeah, no, we're going to go there this Saturday, do our thing. I'm going to have to get a good workouts in this week.
They're going to be like, do you take First Form?
I'm like, they're going to be like, fuck. Here, lift this thing real quick in front of everybody. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do that. But I'm going to have to work out all week, man. I want to look good going into that.
Let's go do a couple workouts, man.
I know. I will. If you want to come with me, you can. Here's the thing, though, with Andy. I'll be like, Andy, okay, let's go at 10:30. That's where I'm going. Well, let's see here. I got stick and puck, and then how about 4:58? I'm like, nope, not doing it. Never mind. I asked. That's all I need to do is just ask. No big deal.
4:58.
4:58. Let's get on it. I can only stay till 4:59.
Hey, the products, though, man. I had my fruits and greens yesterday again. It makes me feel so good. I'm taking my heart medicine.
Yep.
I'm doing everything that you should be doing when you look at all the products they have, man. You got to take advantage of it for sure. Supplements, bars. But I'll tell you what, man. My favorite product that I have gotten from First Form is this aluminum shaker, dude.
Yeah.
It is the best mug you will ever get. I'm telling you, man, like all day long from soccer games or being at the pool,
so
whatever,
cold,
it stays super, super cold. It is absolutely unbelievable. And it is my favorite product, man. So I put it on my Instagram story the other day. If you're curious to know what some of our favorite products are, like if you're new to First Form, firstform.com/Cam and Strick, by the way. If you're new to First Form, you're like, okay, where do I start? What should I get? You want to know what Cam's favorites are? Send a message. You want to know what my favorites are? Send a message. It's a great way to kind of start.
And follow First Form Nick, too, by the way. Yes. Nick Clements. Dude, he'll show you at what he does. You want to look like that son bitch? Mm-hmm. Watch what he does. He'll break down everything. He's like, I just got done working out. I'm going to mix this, and I take this 20 gram protein, blah, 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 and he'll tell you exactly what to do. Yeah. Because he actually works out. He actually works out every single day. So if you're a workout son bitch like him that does it every day, then this is what he does. This is how he refuels his body.
Yes, he does.
So follow him, follow me, follow Andy. We'll show you what's up, baby.
Follow us all.
And First Form.
And firstform.com. Get that peanut butter lovers bar, by the way. Put that in the microwave. Put a banana over it, man. It's a great snack.
Damn good. And healthy.
And you can even like have a little avocado ice cream or something like that, Cam.
It's all good, Andy.
Okay. Put that in
Andy just doesn't know when to like move on.
Hey, I will move on to Tesson Roofing, man. Proud sponsor. New sponsor alert.
Yeah, baby.
On the Cam and Strick podcast.
Saw him at the country club. Oh, our boy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I know. That was his second time out there.
Really?
He goes, I golfed this morning, Cam. Then I went home and I picked my girl up and I came back and now I'm golfing again. I go, you're gosh dang dedicated.
He's like golfing.
We're doing a golf tournament. We're doing a golf tournament coming up here too.
Who is?
Me and him.
Oh yeah. Oh, that one golf
pro players one. Yeah,
pro players.
Yeah.
So Tesson Roofing, man. I've known Brett Tesson for a long, long time, Cam.
Awesome, dude. Yeah.
And one of my favorite people. Loves hockey, but he's super successful, man. This guy started from nothing.
I know.
Yeah, he wasn't doing anything. Like, he was, like, working for other people. And then he said, fuck it, I'm going to go do my own thing.
Yeah. Well, he figured it out.
Yes.
Sometimes when you work with other people, you pick everybody's brains. Like, you're a sponge. He's like, no, I could do this. I could run my own company. That's exactly what he did. He's St. Louis-based, hockey fan, golfs out in St. Albans, man. We're golfing together in a couple weeks coming up here with the Pro Players event. You probably aren't invited to that because it's a Pro Players event.
No, I'll be there probably.
But he's going to be with me, and they do damn good work, man. They do damn good work, and they got some special things coming out right now, too.
They've got that nanotech, man, and that nano shield.
If you know, you know.
You know.
I'm telling you.
So go to TessonRoofing.com. They'll fill you in
yes.
with everything they have going that are going to, like, lower your bills and all that, save you lots of money, energy efficient. Like, they're like, how do I explain this? Like, high-tech roofing company.
Yes.
Like, they have products and options that most roofing companies don't have. Like, it's very sophisticated.
Well, in St. Louis, man, you get rocked by weather. Hail, tornadoes, headwinds.
We don't have many tornadoes.
Yeah, we do. We have all kinds of shit. Crazy weather, and your roof gets fucked up.
Yes, it does.
They'll take care of it, man, and they'll protect it.
Yeah.
They'll take care of you.
Yes.
They work hard, man. They're, again, in St. Louis, and good people. And they got, I'm telling you, they got all kinds
They'll do
of new
commercial shit, too.
I know.
Not just residential.
Yeah, they'll do it all. You got a school.
Significantly lowers the internal temperature of the building, Cam. What do you think that means?
Well, that means that you're going to save money on all kinds of shit, Andy.
Mm-hmm.
You know how hot it gets in this goddamn town? Hot as shit.
Ask about the nanotech, man. I mean, you're talking about up to 45% energy savings.
I'll take that.
Nano Shield. They got that greener shingles stuff, too, man. It's like lotion for your roof. Like, you got to take care of it, man. It'll save you so much money down the road. You won't have to replace that thing.
How do you get a hold of them?
TessonRoofing.com.
That's how it is, baby. Easy peasy. They'll talk to you.
TESSON. TessonRoofing.com. We'll fill you in as we move along, obviously. Welcome aboard to Brett
Damn
Tesson.
right, baby.
Tesson
I'll see you soon, brother.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, Andy will be there, too. Following us around.
I might caddy.
Do it. Come out there. I don't give a fuck.
You know, I was a caddy back in the day.
Oh, gosh.
I used to ride my bike to the golf course at 6 a.m. and caddy.
I bet.
At Belle Rive Country Club, which now is the home for a number of PGA events.
I know. They probably miss you. They want you to caddy.
They pay me. I double bag it sometimes, too.
I bet.
That's when you really got to have some real strength, Cam, and muscle behind it when you double bag it.
Man. Well, that's why they picked you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Skate, our boy over there at Sparks, man, the best skate sharpener on the market. It's not even close. You know who's promoting that now? Who's all about Sparks?
Who'd that be?
Brent Burns, man.
Oh, of course.
No surprise.
He knows what's up.
And he knows all
he's
about
got edges,
Seth,
doesn't
too.
he?
Oh, yeah, he's got edges. He knows all about Seth, too.
Well,
that's why he's not messing with any of that BS.
Weird stuff. Seth ain't doing good, Andy. He ain't doing good.
You know something I don't know?
Well, besides the animal bones in his closet, there's things going on in the neighborhood.
Oh, my God.
I know.
I didn't think it would reach that point.
And the young girls in the neighborhood are getting really creeped out.
Okay.
No, wait. I'm just telling you.
I've got a daughter.
No, I know you. I know you do.
You know, I got two daughters.
A lot of people have daughters, and that's why I'm warning them. He's getting goddamn weird. Mm-hmm. I told you this was going to happen.
And now he's working at the hockey shop.
He's at the hockey shop still. People are getting freaked out.
He hasn't lost his job.
He hasn't lost
Nobody's
his job.
complaining.
I know, because they got nobody else. Now you got this fucking bozo weirdo who's really
like when you say he's creeping him out. Like, what's he doing? Just like walking around.
He's looking through windows.
Oh my God.
He's messaging people on different.
Unlike the neighborhood chats and stuff like that.
He's starting to fucking. Well, you want to meet up for this? He's getting.
I know. Okay, so listen. Don't let your dog. Don't let him. Just keep an eye on your dog. Don't fall for the trap.
Don't fall for him.
Yeah.
Don't fall for
the trap.
He's disguising himself as somebody else. Mm-hmm. He's got fucking
like
bones in his
He'll
basement.
say different names and stuff. Really,
dude. Yes.
So what's the one thing to look out for, you think?
Just make sure that you know who your daughter's talking to.
If you don't know who it is.
Just make sure you know who your daughter's talking to on fucking line. That's all. Because fuckboy over there is creeping.
Sometimes he'll say that he's a hockey player too.
No, that's exactly what he's doing, Andy.
He'll be like, "Oh,
he says he owns the fucking building."
Right,
yep.
right. Yeah, I have my own hockey shop.
You kill animals.
I have my own hockey shop.
And you're creeping things.
Oh, I played hockey too back in my day.
No, you didn't, you weirdo. Now, he's sharpening his skates. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Your daughter will be fine too. Right. Don't worry about it. No big deal.
Get a Sparks. You don't have to worry about any of this. You sharpen your own skates. Take your skate sharpening in your own hands. Sparks.com, baby. SPARX. Do summer and the off-season the right way. Yeah. Sharpen your own skates. Sparks, baby. Use that promo code Cam Strick. It's going to save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday, which is a hell of a savings. Bellman and Bellman.com, Cam. At Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging dicks.
That is quite something.
It is.
They got great selection, too, of vehicles, including GMC and Buick. The GMC has so many options, man. The Buick does, too. Cam's looking at that Enclave, frosted white, tan leather, captain seats. Nothing wrong with that.
I like captain seats, man. Those things run like Cadillacs.
On the other side of the street, just like a little hop, skip, and a jump right there in, where is it at?
Troy,
Missouri. They got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. I mean, you talk about selections for every season. You get something for everybody.
Goddamn right.
Also for new drivers, man. If you have a new driver in your family, like they're turning 16 or whatever, like bring them out there. They'll help you find that first-time vehicle. First-time buyers. If you have terrible credit, Cam, what's your advice to those people? Yeah, they'll take care of you. No, man,
sometimes you do.
They don't turn anybody away.
Yeah, your credit score could drop in no time. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you don't know what you're doing or whatever. It just could happen. Yeah. Trust me. We've all been through it.
Everyone's been through it. And guess what? They won't judge you.
No, of course not.
Say hi to Danny boy.
Danny, what up, homie?
And Dale.
What you up to, boy?
And Kenny.
The heck's going on there, Kenny?
I don't say happy Memorial Day, but whatever you say. Like enjoy the Memorial Day.
Enjoy the Memorial Day weekend and, sit back and have a cold one and barbecue and think about the lost ones. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
The ones that
everyone knows them.
Fucking did their thing for us, man.
You know, I've interviewed a number of high-ranking military people over my time, and like World War II veterans who are like over 100 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a great conversation with them.
Like if they go,
like, who the fuck am I?
Like they're like 103. They go to their first game.
So, did you like the Blues when you grew up there? And they're like, no, I didn't.
I'm like, welcome back to the Enterprise Center. We're here with, she's 103 years old, and she's at her first game ever.
Those kind of interviews, yeah. Okay. I thought you meant like in your show that you sat down for an hour and talked to the military vets. I was going to say, yeah, you're like, hey, do you like things? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did good on that.
So,
good job.
Listen, back in the day, I worked at a real big news radio station. KMOX Radio, people know about that here in town. And and it's all over, you know. But they tried to convince me to go into news at one point. They wanted me to go into news because, like, I loved, like, investigating stories and, like, stuff like that. Yeah. They were like, you should do news. So I was really reluctant, but I agreed to do news on the weekends. So I would go do some news stories. And, like, Memorial Day, in all reality, was one of my favorite days to do news because you were going to different things and, like, talking to people.
You had to work on Memorial Day?
Oh, Cam,
sucks, dude.
Do you know that my life, dude,
in
my 20s and in my 30s, really, dude, I worked Thanksgiving. I worked Christmas Eve.
So did I.
I worked New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
A lot of people did. Anyway.
I was sitting down having Thanksgiving one day. A lot of people did. Thanksgiving dinner. Well, you're like, you work Memorial Day? Like I'm some type of loser, dude. I grinded it.
I don't know. I'm just asking. In a TV world, if you're working Memorial Day,
well, let me call a timeout. Let me call a timeout.
No offense.
Let me call a timeout. Because I did weekends, so it would be like a Sunday, like a weekend type thing. Yeah, I don't know if I worked on the actual Monday of Memorial Day.
You just said that. I'm just asking.
But so this would be like an event, like on the Sunday beforehand, where they would have, like, you go to the cemetery where they do all the flags and stuff like that.
I like that, man.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I like talking to like the old school vets, man. But I worked all the holidays, dude. One time I'm having dinner, like I said, Thanksgiving dinner. I'm probably like 26, and I get a phone call, and somebody didn't show up at the radio station. Like, this is back when, like, you're running the board and shit like that.
Yeah, that's actually a big deal, no doubt.
And I had to leave. My family, I wasn't married or anything at the time.
You're 26, you're all right. And you had to go do the board.
And I left and I went down.
Yeah, that's what you do when you're 26 years old and you're in radio.
Yeah, so my advice, and I was given this advice at a very young age, and my advice to anybody young getting into any business you're trying to get, don't ever say no.
No, you got to go and do it.
Once you say no, you're fucking done.
Andy, I was wondering where this fucking stupid story was going, but you tied it all together with a bow, and I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. Always say, you goddamn right, I'll do it. If you're 26 years old, 24, 25, 26, and you're getting your shit in, and somebody at a drop of a hat needs your help for the greater good of the station, you stop what the fuck you're doing, you go.
And they'll always remember it.
They'll always remember that. Then, because even when I first started radio, I'm glad you brought this up, because I saw these kids, man, like, well, I can't work that day. Well, because I told my girlfriend, wait, what? No, you're working that day.
Right.
I just did it.
I
just played 10 years in a show, and I stopped what I was doing and doing it.
It's my birthday.
So fuck you. Give a fuck. I played 10 years in a show, and I still stop what I'm doing and doing it.
Right.
That's what you do. And everybody knows that. So your boss, the owner of the station, this, that, and the other, they're all like, this motherfucker gets it.
You think Pierre Dorion's like, no, I'm not going to go watch that 6'4" left shot
in Finland
center.
In Finland,
because I've got a barbecue to go to.
My girlfriend wants me to know. You got work to do. And she better understand that, too.
You want to be a general manager?
You want to fucking succeed? You want people to like you? You want to make money? That's what you do. All these fucking lazy kids, Andy.
That's right.
It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. I got this. Fuck you. I just stopped what I'm doing. I drove 45 minutes.
And my family they weren't like, oh, you tell them no. It's Thanksgiving.
Fuck that. My dad's like, no. They need you. You go do it.
That's right.
You're goddamn right. No, we'll save you a plate.
Right.
Go 2 hours. Get the fuck back. Right. I'll have a beer for you. I'll have this. Just chill. Go get your goddamn work done.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
And now you feel good when you're done.
Yes.
Now everybody's like, fucking hey, Andy fucking helped out.
You think Dan Bellman?
Now Andy's the complete opposite. Now Andy, I can't even.
Now what?
You worked your ass off to get there. Now you got different things. But when you were young, and you still would do anything at a drop of a hat. Like you would. Don't get me wrong. But when you're young, and that goddamn organization, whoever you're working for, they need your help with something. You got to stop what you're doing. Yeah, but I still
take that now, like with my job and everything. I don't ever say no. I'll never say
no
about anything. I'll say no to you.
He says no to me.
I'll be like,
Cam, what about 4:15? No, I need you at noon. 4:15's
You never say that, though. When do you ever need me at noon? For what?
Bullshit.
Turned down for what? All right, Pierre Dorion. Yeah, Pierre Dorion, man.
I was wondering where that story was going.
Well, that's where it went.
I know, and I liked it.
The best advice I was ever given.
Yeah, dude.
And it never changes, man. You still can't really say no.
Now, when you...
Only thing I'll say no to, I'll admit, and I feel guilty as hell, is when, like, you can't say yes to everybody who's asking you to do like a radio show or a podcast.
Dude,
or
we're
whatever.
in a different setup now, Andy.
It's like
we've
can't
been doing this
do
for
everything.
Years. We can't listen. Like there's
cameos, I'll do.
Cameos, I've been doing quite a bit, by the way. And
my cameo's on sale, Cam.
Was it $3 now?
All right, let's get to the interview, Cam.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
All right, this is a guy who, hey, listen, the work never stops, Cam. You got to keep working. If they ask you to work, do you say yes or no?
You say, gosh dang right, I'm going to do it.
Yes, you do. Pierre Dorion, baby, on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast. Hairclub.com, baby.
Oh, you're damn right.
Go to our landing page today, hairclub.com/Cam-and-Strick. Regrow, restore, and replace that hair.
Don't wait.
Now to the interview.
Where you at right now?
Just at my cottage,
the cottage.
Up in Mont-Tremblant.
Oh, the cottage.
Nice.
Everyone has a cottage.
Yes, they do.
We are jealous of the Canadians because everyone is up in the cottage. Now, are you like right on the water, Pierre, or is there like hockey people all around you? Like, can you see neighbors, or you've got like privacy there?
No, it's on a golf course, so it's kind of like a condo. But I call it the cottage, but it's nice.
Well,
no real hockey people here. I think Mario Lemieux has a place here. I see him once in a while, but I haven't seen him in about a year. And Jonathan Drouin, I think, I see him once in a while. So.
Well, I understand having a condo because you don't have to do any work to it. You have a cabin somewhere. There's always something going wrong. You know, you got to go up there every weekend and fix things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you a big golfer?
Yes, not a very good one, but I like it.
Yeah. So you're golfing. Do you feel like you get business done on the golf course, Pierre? Like, is it a place for you to get away, or are you taking calls? Are you communicating with people while you're golfing?
No, I get away. I'm usually really good to return calls right after. Mm-hmm. Like my buddies know when I play, I said, okay, give me half an hour. I got about 4 calls to return, and then I'll sit down and have a few beers. But for the most part, I'm really good at returning calls. When you're on the golf course, unless it's life or death, I think things can usually wait.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I'm with you too, man. You got to be able to get away.
What kind of beer you drink? Real quick. Sorry about that. I just want to know. I'm curious.
It's the easiest one you'll ever ask me. Coors Light.
Oh, all right.
Sorry. I know it's a Bud Light town in St. Louis.
No, not anymore. Trust me.
I've seen a few things.
Yes.
Although it really is, though, man. That'll never really. No,
it kind of went in a weird direction when they sold it, and then the Bud Light thing. So it's a mess out here.
I know.
But this is a beer city in St. Louis. And,
I know.
We're beer drinkers.
Good question, Cam.
You like that?
Good question.
Well, I'm not a journalist.
Hey, listen. You just got back from the Worlds. Do you like traveling? Like when you got to travel overseas, like you see that on your calendar. Are you like, okay, I'm in for a grind here, or you look forward to it?
It's a combination of both. I was head amateur scout, director of player personnel for a long time. So the scouting in me, I get excited about going and watching games. But I got to tell you, missing the charter planes and the charter flights where you really don't have to do anything, being a GM is pretty good.
Oh, listen, let me ask you, like we've had a lot of GMs on here, man. I don't even know if I've ever asked this question, but because you've done it, like you've really climbed the ladder, like you work on the amateur side, and I've talked to amateur scouts forever, Pierre. Man, these guys live like an interesting life. I mean, they're constantly on the road, as you know. Like, what's the hardest job in a hockey organization? Is it being on the amateur side?
Like within hockey operations, I'd have to tell you the equipment guys, they put in long hours. Like those guys, I've got so much respect for our group and the hours that those guys put in. The medical staff too, like the therapists, like people don't know. A lot of times we'll land in a city and you got 10 guys that need treatment and the guys are busy from 4:30 to 8:30. And then the next morning they're at the rink at 7:30. So between the equipment guys and the therapists and the medical staff, those are long hours in the wintertime for sure. As far as the toughest job, you know what? Head coach of any NHL team, especially in Canada. That'd be the tough one.
No doubt about that. No doubt
especially
about
in Canada. Yeah. You should finish every sentence, especially in Canada.
It's true, though.
Pierre, just say because I mean it's like changes up there, especially in Canada, man. I mean it is a different world, and we're seeing it right now with the team down the road from you, man. So it's crazy.
Yeah, but you scouted so much, like traveling around, like when you're scouting and you have to, you maybe have to go to Boston College or you got to go to Minnesota here. But when they say, hey, check this kid out in Latvia, are you like, oh, no, like, okay. Now you're not flying private. Now you got to deal with the airport. And I mean, who knows where you have to land and change flights.
Luggage won't be there.
Luggage is not going to be there. Small hotel room.
Exactly. But that's why you work all your life. You get to be a GM. So there are good things that you look forward to. Not that, when I first started scouting, my goal was not to become a GM, was just to try to get players for the team that I work for. But for then, it's pretty good. No complaints.
Yeah. Okay. So you grew up in a hockey family, right? Because your dad was a longtime scout. Like, this is what you always wanted to do? Like, when did you know?
Fairly young. I wasn't a very good goalie. So I knew, the highest I could play was like tier 2 junior B. And then my dad, I said, I want to be a scout like you. And at the time he was chief of central scouting. And then he moved on to the chief of Toronto Maple Leafs before he passed away. And he said, well, the one thing you got to do is you got to get an education. So I went to university for 3 years. And after that, I got into scouting.
So when he's head of central scouting, like, and for people who don't know, like that's like the draft, right? And all the amateur kids coming in, and you're ranking players for the draft. Are you like up to date? Like, do you know all these kids? Like, when you're a kid growing up, are you looking at the draft boards and like kind of going over stuff with your dad and like watching him or what?
Yeah, well, whenever he let me tag along with him, I'd be going with him. Even as a teenager, I still wanted to go with him. And back then, we're talking 30 years ago. There were no such things as draft boards on the internet and conversations. So it was more hearsay and what you read in the hockey news and what you read in certain publications. But no, I was always interested, and I always followed Major Junior and Tier 2 in college and draft eligible prospects. And I used to ask him a lot of questions, and he used to tell me, "I'll tell you, but don't tell anyone else."
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So that was the fun part.
Hey, who's the one player that you just remember him just being like, "Oh my God, this is the best kid I've ever seen. Like, this guy is going to be an absolute superstar." And he would just talk about him, and you knew about this guy long before he became, what he is today.
One guy that he told me about was, I remember Luc Robitaille.
Yeah.
He always loved Luc Robitaille. And I think he was working for Central Scouting at the time, and that would have been one guy. Obviously, again, Luc was drafted late.
Yeah, I know.
People said he couldn't skate. So that was definitely one guy that he really, really liked. Just, going to games in Gatineau, or back then it was Hull, was just something that, I saw. And, obviously one of his first picks was Yannick Perreault with the Leafs.
Yeah.
And he loved him. They took him in the third round, I believe, and he turned out to have a pretty good NHL career.
Yeah, for sure.
He did. Hey, when you are scouting guys and the draft comes and you're meeting with these kids, I remember going through that process, and I was nervous as hell, but I was just trying to be myself. What are you looking at in some of these interviews with these kids? They're a good hockey player. I know you do your due diligence and their family and stuff like that, but when they're sitting in front of you, what do you want to get out of these kids?
Really, just the biggest thing that I look for is, are they comparable to how they play on the ice? And biggest secret is, I want to see their level of drive, because most of the guys in the draft, you'll have the uber talented, like the Connor Bedards this year, that, they're going to be players no matter what. But a lot of times, even first rounders, if they don't work at it, they'll probably never have an NHL career. So to me, one of the most important things that I've always looked for, and what I tell our staff to look for, is look for their level of drive, look at their level of, how they're going to face adversity. These interviews, you don't want to be too tough on them, because, there's only a small percentage that you're going to draft, but you got to see how they react, through adversity. So that's a few things that I look for, whatever the background, you always try to figure out you try to figure out, are they coachable, where they're going to be, what role they think they'll be. If for 1 year, I always remember early in my career, every defenseman was going to be Nicholas Lidstrom and every forward was going to be Peter Forsberg. Well, that's not really the case. You got to be able to see, can they self-assess what they can be? Sometimes I love hearing a guy says, well, I'm going to be who's a third liner that just checks and gets 10 goals a year. That's good. Not that the kid's not self-driven. He knows what he's going to be.
Yeah. Imagine if they said every player is going to be Cam Jansen.
Yeah, my God.
I mean, come on now, Pierre.
Pierre, I told Lou Lamoriello, he asked me that same question. I'm nervous as hell. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and he asked me, who do you want to be? And I go, Ty Domi. And he goes, we don't like a Ty, because that's when Ty knocked out Niedermeyer in the playoffs. I had no idea.
That's too good.
Oh, yeah. That's hilarious. Hey, listen, when you're running the amateur side, you're in full control, because you know all these kids, and you can do some crossover stuff. But then you get to upper management, you're focusing more on the pro side or with the NHL team. Is that difficult? You got to rely on your people, and trust your people, or do you feel like you got to go out and watch some of these kids too, if you can?
Well, my philosophy is that, because it's my background, I always try to help the amateur side. Obviously, when we pick in the top 5, top 7, top 10, I'm heavily involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I think, as most GMs are, when you're picking that high. But there's been some years since I've been GM that I didn't see the guys that we drafted. I didn't see Bernard Docker play live. I see a lot of these guys play on video, but I never saw him play live. Mm-hmm. So it's just, part of the being a job of GM is, you oversee everything, so you can't do everything. It's just, you hire good people, you delegate, you make sure they make the right decisions, and for that, you hope you put the cupboards full of prospects, and then you go from there.
You're like, hey, listen, you guys, this Brady Tkachuk better be good.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm relying on you.
He better be like his daddy.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wasn't too worried. Him, I saw a lot. I think I saw him like 9 times draft year.
Yeah.
And I know we in Ottawa, people don't realize this. It wasn't as bad as when we traded Karlsson, because I had death threats on that one, or when we traded him. But like, people were mad, and because we didn't take, and I don't want to name other names, but people can know who they are.
Talking Niemi, man. Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, like, hold on, wait and see. Like, we know what we're doing. Like, this guy's going to be a power forward. Those guys are so hard to find. He loves hockey. He plays the game with a passion. I know he only had a certain number of goals, but like, he didn't play with a true center at BU. And that's why, like, scouting him at the World Juniors, scouting him at the camp, gave us a much better indication of what he was going to be compared to what he was at BU. And it's just, they didn't have a lot of centers there, so he never got him anyone to get him the puck. But you saw him go to the net. You saw him play hard. You saw him shoot the puck. You saw him do a lot of things that he does today.
Yeah. Oh, he tortures people out there. No, he does. And he's getting bigger. I mean, the kid's built like a brick shit house. He's the nicest kid in the world, and he plays mean. Like he does. Like, he's hard to deal with. And he might be one of the scariest guys in the NHL with the ice time he gets, besides, his brother, I would say. But do you have to, when you watch Brady, though, and maybe you're down by a couple, and he kind of, the wires cross a little bit, and he gets so emotional because he's into it. Like, do you sometimes, DJ, have to kind of calm him down a little bit?
It's more a question for DJ, but I know those two have a really good relationship.
Yeah.
It's more about, I think, you got to just control it. Don't take a bad penalty. If we're down by 2, we need you to score goals. We don't need you in the penalty box. And it's part of maturing. Cam, you're a different player, I think, when you're 21, 22 than you were at 25, 27. So it's just figuring out, maturing, the importance of your team, even though you want to go out there. Like, this year he fought Evander Kane, and Evander Kane is one tough. He can box. And I'm saying to myself, oh, no. And no issues. But Brady did it, I think, to wake up the team. Mm-hmm. I believe it was the first game back from, I forget, I hope I'm not wrong on this, from our break, and we were flat, and Brady wanted to wake us up. That's what a true captain does. I don't know if he would have done that his first year. Maybe he would have done it, but not in the right way. He did it in the right way, and we didn't win the game, but it certainly woke us up.
Yeah. He's strong enough to take care of it.
They took Cocky and Niemi right before you. Actually, it was a gift. I mean, all of a sudden, Brady Tkachuk's available for you.
God.
At 4. I couldn't believe it. But you're right, because he didn't have a great production-wise freshman season, right, at Boston or at BU. There were some people who were thinking maybe he was going to go back, man, but he made the team. Like, when he signed his contract extension, was it a no-brainer to put the C on his chest and make him the captain? Like, were you reluctant at all because of his young age? Like, what made you comfortable with that?
Yeah, there was a bit of reluctancy, not because trust me, he's captain material all day long.
Oh yeah.
2 things, and again, we touched upon it. One, the age. It's a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of pressure because it's a Canadian market. Yeah. But at the same time, it's we, especially this year, adding Claude Giroux, I think it's really helped them. Is now we've got the right mix, and everyone knows it's Brady's room. It was just like, okay, like, he wants to produce, he wants us to win, he wants to be the captain. You're just piling on his shoulders, and at 21 years old, that's a lot to ask someone. As good as you are, and as well raised as you are, and as polite as you are, it's just a lot to ask. It was a bit concerning, but we said we're there to help him out if he needs help. We made some people available for him if he wanted that, but he didn't really need anything. He's handled it fine.
Yeah. I'm sure even his side at one point probably said to themselves, hey, is this too much right now with everything you're talking about, being in a Canadian city? Hey, break down Ottawa for us, because, for people on the outside, they see, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, even Calgary a little bit, probably because their head coach created a lot of headlines. But Ottawa, in terms of a Canadian market, like, where do you guys fit in? I know it's the capital city, but the pressure there versus some of the other teams I'm talking about, describe that.
Well, it's definitely not Toronto. Toronto in itself is a different animal. I think we're comparable to markets as like Calgary, Edmonton, to a certain degree, Vancouver. I think the two biggest markets are definitely Toronto for Canada and Montreal for especially French Canada, but a lot of when Montreal goes on the road, they also have a lot of fans. So I think we're comparable to the Winnipegs, the Calgary, the Edmontons, and to some degree Vancouver. That's where our market fits.
So when you trade a player like Erik Karlsson, for example, like we saw it this past year with like guys like Patrick Kane, like it's just a completely different animal when you're dealing with that level of a player, right? A superstar player. Chychrun, it took a long time, even though he's not in the same category, but still a really good player. It took forever for him to finally get dealt, and you were able to make the deal there. But when you're dealing with, regular trades versus a player of that stature, like how different is that?
Well, I think it's on a trade like Erik Karlsson, you're looking at it, and the return is going to be huge. So there's a few limited teams. I think a deal like. And Erik didn't want to be part of a rebuild. We got 8 pieces for him, which includes Stützle, Norris, and probably our goalie future, Matt Sogard.
Great trade, by the way. You got great value for that.
Amongst other pieces. So we're happy. I think Erik was at a stage where he didn't want to be part of a rebuild, and we were rebuilding, and we got 8 assets for it. And some have turned out. Most of them will turn out if you haven't. But in a trade like Chychrun, you're dealing with a GM that is very stubborn, and he's admitted to me that he's very stubborn, and he was going to wait until he got what he wanted. And I think what helped us is that other teams, Arizona had to take money, and in our case, we didn't have to take money. It was just a straight hockey deal, and it was a year and a half in the making almost, and we were fortunate enough to get a hell of a player. Like he's solidified our back end like no one else has. He's even better than I thought, and that I don't say that a lot. Like he snaps the puck, he shoots it. He's way better defensively. Not that he wasn't good as far as breaking up plays with his stick and his range. He eliminates guys off the cycle. Like as a group, we were elated that he joined us, and it's too bad we couldn't make the trade early in the year because I think maybe the results would be different. And not saying we'd be Florida now, but we might have been playing in the playoffs.
This Tim Stützle is like, I mean, you go back. I know you got him 3rd overall, but like he's the number 1 pick in that draft. Like there's no question, and you get him at 3. When he fell to you, you just said Chychrun, you weren't sure he was going to be that. Are as good as advertised and whatever. What about Stützle? Like, did you expect this guy to be a legit, absolute super? This guy has coming off a 90-point season, and we saw him at the World Juniors. Man, he certainly looked like he was going to be that. But like, what were your honest feelings towards him?
No, we thought he'd be a good player. Like, we feel he's going to be a top 5, top 10 player in the league. Yeah. Just his mental makeup. He's got a lot of drive. He's got character for a European. His skill set is off the charts. He's like DJ. I give a lot of credit to DJ. Not that I wanted to play center earlier, but I wanted to be like a smart process. I said 100 games. DJ said 82 games on the wing. Then he was going to move him, but we never thought like we knew some of our scouts had him 1 on their list, and that's I would say that takes a lot of self-confidence in a year where other players perform outside unbelievably at the World Junior, and they outplayed Timmy, but some of our scouts had him number 1. And for us, we probably had 4 guys that we really liked, and we were able to get 2 of those 4 guys. We got Timmy and Jake Sanderson. So sometimes you need a bit of luck, and I think we got a bit of luck in how things fell, but we still drafted the right players.
Yeah, Tkachuk, he'd be the 1st overall pick in that draft too if they had to redo it. Probably. So, man, you've done a great job from that standpoint, because there is like serious pressure, right? When you're rebuilding, like you can't miss on picks, 3 and 4, can you?
No. If you miss on picks in the top, 5, that alters your franchise for the next 15 years. So you better make sure that those decisions are the right ones. And that's why I always said, we have a great scouting staff, and the whole of our scouting staff has made a lot of good picks. But when it comes to picks early in the draft, I'm heavily involved.
All right, so DJ, like he seems like a player's coach. We've had, a couple of your players on. Yeah. We've had him on, like you can tell there's a good relationship there. You've got young personalities. Like, do you let these guys have fun, Pierre? Do you want them to have a good time and enjoy themselves? Like, what kind of ship are you running as a general manager with all this enthusiasm that you have on the roster?
I let DJ handle that.
Yeah.
A few times. DJ is a player's coach. He's a tremendous communicator. He talks to guys, but he's demanding. And that's what I've always liked about him. And obviously, when we started this rebuild, we definitely felt he was the right coach for this. Coaching these young players, showing him how to play the right way, giving them some leeway when it time to give them some leeway. But I let the guys pretty much do have their fun. A few of the guys, the vets, are mad at me because I still force them to wear ties.
That's all
like
right.
That. I said, and who I hope he's not mad at me. Claude Giroux told me, we'll make the playoffs next year if we don't have to wear ties.
That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. I said, Claude, okay. So a few times during the year, last year, I let them, they didn't have to wear ties at the end of the year. But for the most part, I believe in doing things the right way, especially when you got a young group. You got to not hold them by the hand, but they got to understand what the NHL's about and give them structure. And I leave that for DJ. A few times we've had a few rules broken, and when rules are broken, the GM intervenes very quickly and he tells them that that's not acceptable. And sometimes guys sit out, guys do things, and I let the players know it's not DJ making this call, it's the GM. So, you know what? Our players are really good to self-police themselves. But if ever anyone crosses the line, I intervene, and it's not fun. You hate to. It's not fun telling someone they did something wrong, but sometimes they got to be told.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
What did Josh Norris do? What did he do?
What did he do?
Josh Norris has not done anything wrong.
Oh man, he's awesome. He's awesome.
He's, what? A healthy Josh Norris would have. I don't know. I would want to tell you would have been a different story for us this year, but. Man, we're happy we got it.
How's he doing? How's he doing? He's coming along he's
good. He's skating now. I haven't talked to him in about a month, but I know he was starting to skate, and I think now getting the surgery, he's all fixed up now, and it's. I almost feel like it's like some of those guys that had 2 or 3 concussions, and now they're good to go. Well. Now he's finally had the surgery. He's good to go. He didn't want it at first. He wanted to come back and try and rehab and, show his teammates that, he was trying, but he couldn't do it at the end. So we just get the surgery, be ready for next year, be 100%, and you'll be fine.
Okay, so what's your reaction when you see Brady having fun in the playoffs? And it's with Brooks Koepka. And it's with Matthews' team, like last year in Calgary.
Yeah, I saw
and then last night he's having a little bit of fun, man. He's doing the karaoke with some of the boys and stuff like that. They're hanging out after. When you see this stuff on social media as a general manager, do you just turn the page? What's your reaction to it?
I think you can have fun. When him and Josh did karaoke, we played in Seattle last year and we were awful. So I didn't give it to really Brady. I gave it to DJ. Wasn't very happy. I think if you do things in its controlled environment, I think in Calgary, that might have been over the top. I let DJ handle those discussions with him. Mm-hmm. What happened last night, I thought that was great. I'm a big golfer. So, you know what? It wasn't over the top. You get to drink from the PGA trophy. I think it's a Wanamaker trophy. You get to drink from that. I think, how many times you get to do that. So no issues with what happened last night at the game. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. And he did get interviewed and he just talked about Ottawa too. And he's like, we're going to win. So he made it about, so it wasn't like just about Matthew.
And I had him on my radio show a week ago, and that was his, you can tell there's a different level of disappointment this offseason.
Yes.
Than maybe I felt in the past, and the focus moving forward now. I think he's done watching his brother be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know.
I think now, he's had plenty of taste of that. You know what I'm saying, Pierre?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's so well said. I think he's tired of watching his brother, and now he wants our team to, and his team, because he is the captain, to take that next step.
But you guys are trending in the right direction. Andy and I talk about you guys all the time. And even if you lose, it's still an entertaining game. The emotion's there, the passion's there. And I believe you had your year-end meeting and you said something to the effect of, Of all the games, all your 82 games, like maybe 6 or 7, you left or you were done watching and you were pissed. So I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, you guys are certainly trending in the right direction, and you're entertaining.
Yeah, no, I think when it's a handful of games or under 10 games where you're not happy, you're not happy about the team's performance, you're going on the right. People forget we're so young still. Like all these guys are so young. Mm-hmm. It's a process. The one thing that we've tried to do is, in getting Brady's and getting Giroux's and getting some of these guys that we've gotten here is. Once we get to the playoffs, I don't want to be a team that says, "Oh, we got to learn to win in the playoffs." We're trying to build this team where we get to the playoffs. Is that we can win in the playoffs, and that's the type of team that we've tried to build. And I know sometimes you can build teams that win in the regular season, but we're trying to build a team that can win in the regular season and build in the playoffs. And Brady's a big part of that.
Hey, listen, it's not always in your control, but like when you have players like Mark Stone and you can't keep them and you got to move them, like. How difficult is it to replace those guys, Pierre? Like they're like almost impossible to replace. I mean, it's a big hole when you can't keep those guys, right?
No, that was a tough one. You know what? There are 2 players over my tenure that that were really tough to move, and sometimes I'm too honest and I get myself in trouble. But Mark Stone was one of them. I remember talking to my boss at the time, and that was Eugene, and I said, you know what? He wants an 8-year deal. I'll give, my recommendation, give him the money that he wants. And he goes, well, what's the downside? I said, well, when you give 8-year deals at this point in their career, some of their latter years in the contract, you're not as beneficial. He goes, well, we're doing the rebuild, and that's when we're going to start to win. So those contracts are going to be more important. But I was being selfish at the point in time, and what was worse was that, like, I'm talking to 4 or 5 teams about Mark Stone, and I remember telling Eugene, the returns, we're happy with what we got, but it's not like the Karlsson. It's not like a trade like of a Karlsson magnitude, or it's not a trade of other people where you feel you're getting good enough return. But at the end of the day, you just do what the best trade is. And Mark, I don't think he wanted to be. I think he would have ended up staying, but I think he was happy to go to a team that probably was going to contend.
Yeah. He and Brady were super tight.
Yeah.
You like how Brady's taking some of these younger guys, though, under his wing, though? Like he and Josh both, with Stützle and some of these guys?
Yeah, him and Josh with Stützle, Jake Sanderson, and it's a lot of U.S. guys. Shane Pinto, even Ridley Gregg. And a lot of them are sons of former dads were all former NHL players or NHL players. So we got a really good dynamic of our young core and how Brady takes them in. I think Brady took Ridley Gregg in last year during the year that at some point we brought him in because he had a bit of an injury. And I think they played video games and Ridley lost, so we had to do the laundry for both of them or something like that. Brady's pretty sharp. That's a veteran. So, no, I really like the way that Brady's taking a lot of these young players under their wing and how they respect him. Like a lot of guys do the talking, but they don't follow it up on the ice. Mm-hmm. With Brady, you're going to get it. Whatever he says in the room is going to be followed up on the ice.
Oh yeah. Hey, you see any Snoop Dogg sightings up there? Maybe he's cruising around, checking out the rink, hanging with the guys.
Yeah, you better know. Are you like practicing, like listening to his music to make sure, like you gotta, you
might want to come. You gotta
speak the lingo when he wants to talk to you.
Yeah. All I will tell you is I have my golfing group, my buddies. The last few days, it's all been Snoop Dogg been playing. We always play with music, not loud, not crazy. But the last few days, it's been some Snoop Dogg. But it's you know what? Considering the ownership process, it's been a lot of fun. It's not a lot of times that a GM gets a chance to meet with 7 potential group about ownership and discussing future vision, team, and knowing that someone's going to come in with really deep pockets and help you get to that next level. So it's been a lot of fun.
Hey, what's this going to mean though to the franchise? Like to get new ownership. And then hopefully a new building with it. Like, what would that mean for the franchise?
Oh, well, it's just going to bring, I think for the people of Ottawa, for our fans, for the organization, it's just, it's going to be something special. You're bringing stability to the franchise, but you're bringing deep pockets. You're helping ensure a winner for many years to come. I think it's great for all parties invested here.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Would you be like, okay, Snoop's not allowed in the locker room if we lose? Because you know he's going to probably want to be all around the guys and stuff.
Hey, don't you love it as oh, my God, he will be.
I know. Think about that, Andy.
I know. Listen, as a GM, like, people have been critical because, like, Philip Gustafson, whatever, goes to Minnesota, has a good year. But I didn't hear anyone saying at the time, be like, what are they doing moving him? Like, this guy, he had a great season, man. That's why goaltending is so difficult to predict. Like, how do you know if one guy's going to have a great year one year and then struggle the next, man? Like, you just outside of a handful of guys, as you know, Pierre, it's almost a toss-up with some of these guys.
Yeah, no, and it's funny because the year that we played, I think the 56-game schedule where we were just in Canada, I remember asking DJ and our goalie coach, Zach Burke, okay, I said, we got like 6 goalies on our roster. A bunch of guys were hurt. I said, if the game against Toronto tonight meant we get 2 points and we get in the playoffs, top 4 Canadian teams, who would you go with if everyone's healthy? We had Matt Murray, what was the guy's name? We had Forsberg, we had Hogberg, we had DeCord, we had Gus. I said, who would you go with? And it was unanimous between those 2 guys. We're going, because the goalie coach has a big say in who starts, and they got the pulse. They speak the same language. Everyone said Philip Gustafson. And that was the year of the 56 games. And last year, he just struggled with us. Every game seemed, we had a few good games and struggled. And you know what? One position that I always feel that you need a bit of stability was the goaltending. So we made the trade for Cam Talbot. Everyone on our staff seemed excited about it, and it didn't work out. And give credit to Phil. I think he put his career back on track. I think if he has another year like he has with Ottawa, like the previous year, he might be going back home to Sweden. So give him a lot of credit for what he did. And as a GM, you try to take calculated risks, and that's what we tried to do in that trade. And not every trade's going to work out. Some work out for the better of you. When we made the deal for Mike Condon, my first year as GM, when Craig's wife had cancer, and he helped us get in the playoffs. Now, if not for him, we're not in the playoffs that year. We don't make the run to Game 7 of the conference final. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You better have more that work out than don't, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And you've had that for the most part, man. A lot of your trades have worked out, but you're not going to win every single one. No, that's the reality of it.
No, hey, but I was going to ask you, like, you guys are so young. You're a skilled team, and Brady, of course, controls the pace of the play, and he's in the mix all the time. But like having a guy like an Austin Watson around, who we love, by the way, and he's been on our podcast, like you kind of need somebody. I know the game's changed. Brian McGrattan's not cruising around in warm-ups with the Mohawk anymore. Back in the day, like, that's not happening. But to have some sort of protection, so Brady doesn't have to do the dirty work, like a guy like Austin Watson, like he's beneficial for that organization, isn't he?
No, he's been great. We gave up a pick. He's come in for the last few years. He's played hard. He's a great penalty killer. He's done everything that we've asked about. One thing about Austin is he makes people accountable on the bench or in the room. He's been great for us. I know him and DJ have a really good relationship. He sat him out this year. I know the guys our guys tease Jack Capuano that Travis Hammonick's his son, and a bunch of other guys tease DJ that Austin Watson's his son. So, he's been really good for us. We've really been happy with the hockey he's given up over the last few years. And he's, what he's gone through personally, and you see him how he acts and how he battles through it. Like, he's a tremendous guy. Like, he's a guy that if I wasn't a GM, that he's a good golfer too, that I want to be buddies with. I can't be buddies with players, but he's a guy that, there are guys that you say, I don't know if I'd be buddies with him, guys on the team, and you're not going to get along well with everyone, but he's a guy that I definitely want to be a buddy with. Yeah. I wasn't.
Yeah, we interview so many people. We could tell too.
Dubas wants to be your buddy.
Dubas wants to be your buddy too.
Hey, we're not saying that. We can always edit. I mean, it is. Hey, listen, it is what it is. Hey, you made a deal though with Dubas in Toronto. Like we don't see that too often. Like rivals making trades with one another. Like how did that come down? And listen, I thought at the time it was a great move, and still Matt Murray wasn't their guy in the postseason, so it was a good trade on your part. Yeah. But how does that come together with a rival?
Yeah, we made two big trades, Carolina. We made like the Connor Brown, Zaitsev, CC third rounder pick. I forget all the details. And we made the Matt Murray deal this summer. So, no, you know what? Kyle and I really get along well. As I do with most GMs, everyone understands what the job is. I think I have a closer relationship to some other Canadian GMs because we understand the world that we live in. But deals like that, I think they were looking for a goalie. I think they had history with him. Both him and Sheldon had a history with Matt. It wasn't working out in Ottawa, and just made a deal. And he said, this. We went back and forth, and it wasn't really complicated. Sometimes you trade a fourth liner for a late pick, and those take 17 calls. And with Kyle, this one was 3 or 4 calls. We talked at the draft. We said we'll talk when we got back. They wanted to see the medical reports to make sure everything was okay. We granted them. Both doctors talked. Everything was good. A few days later, we made the deal.
Yeah. Listen, I've asked other GMs this. Like, I'm curious, are there certain GMs that you're more comfortable with than others? Yeah. Like, I mean, which guys you can trust, and if you're looking to make a deal, you go that direction first?
No. You know what? You always do what's best for your team.
Got it.
Even if there are guys you don't trust and you feel it's the best thing, you're going to talk to them. On other matters, if we're talking about certain rules or certain things you saw in a game, there's certain circle of guys that I will definitely talk to. Hey, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Yes. But when it comes to making deals, nah. Whether you trust a guy more, like a guy less, you just do what's best.
Yeah. What would you like to change? Is there anything in the game right now? Like, have you been on any committees that you've tried to move the needle on something, or is there an area that you're passionate about that you'd like to see changed?
No, you know what? I think just call the rule book, keep the game going. Like, the game is so good now. I was fortunate enough. I went and scouted playoff hockey. I went and saw 4 different series in the playoffs. Most of them 2 games on a back-to-back before, right after my year-end press conference, I left and was about 2 weeks on the road. And man, the game's in a good spot. Like, it's fast, it's entertaining, it's skilled. In playoff, there's still battles, and you don't want to take those out of the game. And there's good hitting, and a good hit is a good hit. Like we talked a lot about. And I don't want to get myself in trouble, but Jacob Trouba, I hate it when he hits our guys, but they're most of the time really good, clean hits.
Clean hits,
yeah, man.
Like that's part of the game. You know what? Don't play with your head down. I really like watching where the game was 15 years ago to where it is now. I think we're in a really good place. Like, it's so, like, what I do on my off nights, I watch NHL hockey. And for the most part, I'm entertained almost every night that we don't watch. When I'm in a hotel room, I'll probably go have supper with the guys and sometimes with the coaches, training staff, whomever. I come back and I watch an NHL game, and for the most part, I'm always entertained. So I think the game's in a good place. Intermission shorter. Oh, I'll get in trouble for that one.
Hey, you want the intermission to be shorter?
Like what?
No, just drop it down by a minute. There you go.
Okay, that's fine with me.
There's only so many hot dogs you can eat.
Yeah,
especially in Montreal.
Yeah, exactly. Man, that's funny. That's funny you bring that up. Hey, listen, I got to ask you this. So Chris Weidman we had on, and I know he had the whole Uber situation. Yeah. I mean, I remember talking to a GM one day. I said, what's the most interesting part of your job? He said that every single day presents a curveball that you're not expecting. Yep. You didn't expect this one. So, like, how much did this rock you? Like, when you saw the video come out, were you like, oh my God, what was your reaction to it?
Yeah, I could tell you I wasn't very happy. I just wasn't very happy because you're dealing with someone's life. Like Marty Raymond is one of the best people I've met over my 30-some, 28 years in the NHL, is one of the best people. And for him not to get a chance to defend himself, that bothered me. That will bother me till the day I go to my grave. When you criticize someone and they don't get a chance to defend themselves, and Marty would take the high road. So I was bothered by that, but I think we dealt with it internally. It's a long time ago. Chris now has stability. He's played in Montreal. He's an NHL defenseman. So I think we move on. Yes, it bothered me.
Yeah. He felt bad too, like he did.
Oh, yeah. I think everyone in that, it's a long time ago. So everyone, and I think we learned from these experiences. I think everyone felt bad from what happened. But I think you learn from it. I think you become a better person. I think all those people in that Uber became better people for it, and you just move on.
And you know what, Pierre? If the camera was on me every time I got in an Uber, I'd be in a jam every single time. Just so you know.
I know.
It just happens.
This changes how you act in a Uber, though. I mean, because
no doubt,
you never know that you're being recorded.
So always watching.
It's a good lesson for all the other players too.
So I'm a baseball fan. Mm-hmm. So I fly down to Tampa from Toronto. I don't know when it was. And I see Ross Atkins. He's the Blue Jay GM. I'm a big baseball fan. Like, I watch Blue Jays in the summer. I play golf with my Blue Jay hat on. And I see him there. And I go, hey, I introduce myself. Hey, Pierre Dorion, I'm the GM of the Ottawa Senators. Just one time, a big Blue Jay fan. Good luck this year. Don't want to bug you. Just polite, say hi. Like a lot of people do to you. And he turns around and goes, oh, you're the team with the Uber. Like, it just tells you. And we didn't even talk about it. I say, hey, at the combines, I go watch Buffalo. You got some prospects. So we got to engage in a very short conversation. It was maybe 2 minutes. And I said, yeah, I'm a big fan and, good luck. And I hope you do a good job. And that was it. But it's funny how sometimes, the GM of the Blue Jays, which you're not even sure he probably knows who the Leafs are. But after that, wouldn't know much about hockey. And knew that we were the team that got caught with an Uber. And probably it's a lesson to a lot of pro athletes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
yeah, for sure.
And they'll go away.
Yeah,
it'll go away.
Hey, a few more things, and we'll let you go, man. You've been great. We appreciate it. Is there a trade? Is there a move that you're most proud of? Like, is there one that you said, hey, like, we drafted this guy, nobody really believed in him, and he turned out to be a good player, or like a move that you made?
Well, I would tell you, I'll probably. There's a lot of things that you do over the course of 7 years, and over so many years in an organization. We're drafting Erik Karlsson. Mm-hmm. It was my first draft with Brian Murray, and he was 5'10", I think 157 pounds the day we drafted him. And I turned to Brian, we moved up, and I knew he was moving up, and he knew we liked him. And he says, Pierre, you want to draft a 5'10", 150 or 160 pound defenseman? And I said, yes. He goes, how long do you want to work for me? And I said, after this pick, I'll work for you a long time. So that was a good one. Obviously, the trade for Erik, where we were, that was great. Jean-Gabriel Pajot was in Gatineau. I don't even think he was on Central's list when we took him. And then I found out the day after the draft, the Montreal Chiefs scout told me they were taking the next pick. And, that's something you're always proud of. We took him in the third round. He turned out to have a great career with us. When I worked for Montreal, we're going a long time back now. One of my favorite players was Mike Ribeiro, and I know I had a huge part in the draft. And now it was my first draft as Chief Scout. So we're going back a long time. But you know what? When I'm the happiest is when we win a game. Yes. That's when I'm the happiest. When the Ottawa Senators win a game, it's a joy that it's tough to beat.
Yeah.
So
I get that, man.
Did it bother you that like Vegas was trying to it was like Ottawa took the blame for how that trade went down with Anaheim and Dadonov, and how you guys were dragged into it and it came down to the trade list and all that? Did that bug you?
No, it didn't bug me, and can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, no comment on that one.
No problem. I respect that.
That's all good.
Yeah, we have McCrimmon on here. That was a while ago, but yeah. Kind of said the same thing. So I got you. I got you on that. Brian Murray, man, you mentioned him. I want to give you a chance to describe what he meant to you. This guy had a huge influence on you, right? I mean, describe what he meant.
Oh, Brian Murray, I don't know what to tell you. I could go on for an hour about Brian Murray. Probably the best way to tell you is Brian Murray was one of the smartest hockey men I've ever been around. One of the best human beings, great general manager, but might have been even a better coach. And this is no disrespecting his talent as general manager, but how he dealt with you on a day-to-day basis. I don't think he gave me, and I don't want to say shit, but I don't think he got mad at me once. Anytime he needed to tell me something, or not reprimand me, but tell me to do something better, he just talked to me. This is the way it is. And you got it, but just how he saw the game, how he wanted to build a team, and you look at all the people that became GMs that worked under Brian Murray and their success that they've had. I'll tell you one thing. There's one person that I know that should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame, and that's Brian Murray.
Wow.
All right.
I think it was cool also that you guys retired Chris Neal's number, man, because that was outside the box thinking. Like,
we had him on.
Did you support that right away?
Without a doubt. What Chris Neal meant to, or what he's meant to organization, what he means to organization now. Ottawa, our biggest employer is the government of Canada, but the grassroots effect that Chris Neal had on our fan base through the years, what he did for that team to win. It's funny. My boss on the board always tells me, Pierre, you should get another guy like Chris Neal. And I said, there's only been one, only going to be one. Chris, he's unbelievable. He works for us now, and he's great, and he's passionate. All I can tell you is he's unbelievable as far as what he brought to our team, and what he did. Like, Chris Neal scored. He wasn't just a tough guy. Mm-hmm. He scored, he performed, all these things that he was able to do.
Yeah, you can move him up and down the lineup. I looked up to him so much. I wanted to play like him. Like, he did everything. He had the no teeth. He'd go toe-to-toe with you for 2 minutes. Like, you're not going to find another Chris Neal, but is there anybody, when you're scouting and everybody, all the scouts are scouting, is there big guys that have that passion like Neal did, that toughness? Are
those players
anymore?
coming around?
Are they coming up?
Well, the problem is they're tough to identify.
Yeah.
And I respect what the OHL's done. Like, Cam, you can't fight now barely in the OHL.
I know.
The Quebec League is now talking about banning fighting. And, I'm not sure exactly what the Western Leagues, what process they're going to go through. But you have, I always find that if you don't have any fighting, the rats will become even bigger rats. And it's not about, beating anyone up. It's just having someone in the game that can make sure that, you don't cross the line.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel, So that's why the next Chris Neal is tough to identify, because in leagues where fighting is loud, there's less and less of it.
Yeah. Oh, I get you.
Hey,
one of a kind.
Last thing for you, just touch on this coming season now, and like the kind of off season that you're expecting. Last season you made a bunch of moves. You bring over Claude Giroux. That was a huge signing for you guys. You made the trade for DeBrincat.
Yeah. Yep.
So you got to deal with his contract. So maybe you can fill us in on where things are with that. But what else is on the horizon for you this summer? You expect a lot of turnover with your roster. What are you thinking?
Well, don't see a lot of turnover with our roster. I think we're pretty set. Where our top six is. Obviously, we're going to have to sign DeBrincat. We're going to know in the next few weeks, probably before the draft, if he wants to sign long term or not. We've talked to them. After that, just a few contracts to do. Probably, if we can't trade for a goalie, we'll see where Matt Sogard is with Forsberg next year. That could be something that we look at. But besides that, just, patching some pieces here and there. Our back end's pretty much what it is. How it finished last year is going to look a lot like it was. So for the most part, not a lot of heavy lifting compared to what we've done over the last years. Obviously getting Chychrun, that we have was a big thing during the year.
Yeah, and get a healthy Norris back too, man.
Right.
So listen, I look forward to watching you guys next year, and hopefully see you guys in the postseason, new ownership, and all of that, man. So a lot of positive things on the horizon there for the Ottawa Senators, Pierre. So thanks for doing this, man. We really appreciate it.
No problem. And if Snoop wants to go in her room after a game, I'll just call you, Cam, to help me.
No, I'm coming. No, I'll be up there hanging out with him. I'm his bodyguard. Yeah. All right, Pierre.
Enjoy the cottage, Pierre.
Enjoy the golf. See you, dude.
The Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Bellman and Bellman.com. BEHLMANN.com. Get out there to Detroit, Missouri. Check it out. On one side, you got the Buick, the GMC. Options for everybody. Then right across the street, you got the Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Again, find something that works for you and get yourself a new set of wheels in time for the summer.
Yeah.
That was Pierre Dorion on this edition of the Cam Strick Podcast. Very smart. I love talking to general managers, Cam.
So do I.
I love to pick their brains.
So do I.
I love to know how the inner workings intertwine with one another.
So do I.
I'd quit my job today to go work in hockey operations.
You'd quit your job, your easiest cush job ever, to go do the hardest fuck things ever. You want to be an actor. You want to go overseas in the military. You want to work for fucking NASA. You want to fucking work in the coal mines. You want to do everything but what you're doing right now, which is the easiest fucking thing in the world, and we're doing pretty goddamn good with it. You want to do everything else.
You know the difference between you and me?
So ridiculous.
You get up and you pee like 5 times during a show. I hold it.
I'm drinking, dude.
You're celebrating.
Drink beer with me, and you'll do it. Although I don't want you to do that because I need you to be normal.
You know, when Cam and I first started doing this, and then we got into COVID, I think I had like a beer or two with him one time, and he said, Don't try to keep up with me.
Oh, no, because then Andy's like, I got stories to tell. One time back in the day, and I did this. I'm like, oh, God, no. I'd rather you smoke weed and chill.
Don't keep up with Don't try to keep up
don't.
with me.
Just, like, don't. Like, I'm going to one-up you. Andy gets, like, one-uppy, you know, if he starts drinking.
That's not true.
You do. Like, if I tell a story on here, he'll go, well, I did that, too. You did?
It's true. Isn't that amazing?
You did? Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
So
you brought nothing to the table today. I got to tell you, today you brought nothing to the table.
I think you're right on that.
You were okay in the interview with Pierre.
Was I all right then?
Yeah, you were fine.
All right.
How about his laugh when I said...
he chirped Doobie?
When I said Doobie likes to be friends with the players.
I know. He laughed. He laughed a couple times. I like that.
He gave and then he kind of pumped Doobie's tires.
Just a warning for all you guys, if you're doing interviews, if you laugh at something, that makes everything comfortable.
Yeah.
If you know somebody's trying to be funny and you don't laugh at it, even though you don't think it's that funny, it's not ridiculous, just laugh at it.
No, I don't need a fake laugh.
No, I just think
I don't really get to. I get real laughs.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, we both sometimes get the hey, we're trying to humor the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's all about the audience, dude. So it's like if we try to humor them where they were going to laugh at something.
Humor me.
And he doesn't, but he must understand that we're trying to humor them too.
Humor me.
What?
That's like a saying.
No, I know. It's all about entertainment, man. Knowledge and entertainment. When we get a GM,
and you brought no entertainment to
today.
This. Yeah, you brought nothing.
Well, you didn't either. We only broke down one game, so the hockey knowledge.
Who's going to win the series, Dallas or?
Listen, Andy's like, I brought the Heat today. There's one game going on.
They play tonight,
so you better fucking. There's other things you better do.
They play tonight, but so when this comes out, we don't know the result.
I know.
Of Game 6, right?
Yeah, and it sucks. But I don't.
So who's going to win?
I hope Vegas, man.
I don't care who you hope. Who's winning the series?
Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas will.
Vegas, they're not going to lose 4 straight.
I hope not.
Explain how, though, the chemistry just changes. All of a sudden, you lose your captain. Everybody rallies around because I think they know internally they have to give that much more.
Mm-hmm.
He's not there. I guarantee you Jamie Benn thought for sure he wasn't playing another game until next season.
Fuck yeah, he did.
He's like, I'm done. And now he's going to be juiced up.
Andy, we all did.
And what kind of performance are we going to see from Jamie Benn? What is he going to do to repay his team the rest of this series to be like, listen, boys, I let you down.
He's in a weird spot, to be honest with you.
But now does the team take any foot off the gas knowing that he's coming back in the lineup? I don't want to talk too much about it because the game's tonight.
Are you asking me a question or are you just talking?
Just talking.
Good God. My point is with Jamie Benn, though, when you get suspended like that, and it's such a hardcore thing, it's not the easiest thing in the world to go out there 100 miles an hour and maybe clip a guy or maybe do something. So you're always thinking, I can't get dinged again. You already got fucked, man. You fucking put your team in a jam, dude. They crawled out of it, but you put your team as a captain. So is he going to go out there like, fuck, I'm going to kill the world? No, you got to play it cool. Like there's a
How about
balance
the media chasing him out? Like he went and hid in his G-Wagon. Didn't talk to the media. Right. Like Chaser's calling this reporter an asshole on Twitter. I'm like, oh my God. Did you see that?
No, what Chaser did? Chaser loves Benner.
Yeah, well.
He does. So what the reporter was wrong or what?
Kind of a younger, no, I don't know. He just said it was a dirty hit and like very professional news report and Chaser's like, look at this asshole. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, he cross-checked him in a fucking temple.
Exactly. It's kind of a dirty play.
Kind of. It was horrible. It's a horrible thing. Andy, if I would have done that to you, you'd be dead.
I got to defend the reporter a little bit.
I know. You got to dig into that. Fuck that. You want guys that's a horrible play. Like, he's got to own up to that.
I'm not into like.
Don't follow me and my family to my car, though. If you're not supposed to be there. Is he supposed to be there?
Probably not.
Then that's ridiculous.
No, that guy didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
They just had video footage that somebody took.
Oh, settle down then, Chaser. He always gets in the. Let me see what he said. Chaser. I do love it, though. How about this asshole? He's correct about Jamie picking a bad time to take a penalty, even if emotion was involved. But saying he's a dirty player as opposed to tough and mean is why this guy is only in the locker room when we are in our underwear. 31 other teams will take him. Bird watching. I love it, dude. It is true, though.
But the guy
he is in there.
But then if you go watch the report, he didn't really bash Jamie Benn, you know?
Yeah. No, it's all good. Dude, you could bash Jamie Benn. That's okay. He fucked up, Andy. We love that guy, but I'll fucking say it. He fucked up. Cares. And that guy, if that guy wants to chirp Jamie Benn for cross-checking somebody in game.
I don't think he really, that's my point. You got to watch the report because he didn't really chirp him.
Okay, then I'm making my point even more then.
Yeah, he just kind of said it was a
dirty play. And no, he is.
That's why he got suspended.
Chaser, I love
He's a dirty player.
Thank you. That's what I was just going to say.
Remember he sat on Petro's face?
Yeah. Sometimes you have to get sat on to fucking know that you don't want to be a cuckold anymore.
One thing I will say, he was kind of chasing around Matthew Tkachuk last year in the playoffs.
I know he did. I remember
chirping him.
I remember that.
And that would provide a little bit of intrigue as well.
My point is,
heading into the series, if Dallas is able to advance, to have those two go head to head, I feel like
somebody's gonna go head to head.
I feel like Vegas would be the tougher matchup for Florida. But I feel like it'd be a way more entertaining series.
They got a tougher team.
Is Joe Pavelski a Hall of Famer?
I gotta look at his numbers.
Okay, well, just answer the question.
I don't know. I gotta look at
People are starting to talk about that.
I don't give a fuck.
He's got over 1,000 points. He's approaching 460 career goals, so the way he's going just gets better, and with age, he should get to 500. But listen, I always pump the brakes with these type of conversations, man, because
there's a couple guys.
He's never won a league award. He never led the league in scoring and stuff like that. And there's a couple of guys that are not in the playoffs right now, or not in the Hall of Fame, I should say, who probably should be in there. Guys like Keith Tkachuk and Jeremy Roenick and some of those guys. So get them into the Hall of Fame, who were probably considered better players, at their top of their career than Joe Pavelski was at the top of his career. Even though Pavelski's been a hell of a player.
I don't give a fuck. But I will say, though, Jamie Benn's a dirty player. Chaser, what are you talking about?
I know. God. Leave this kid alone.
Leave that poor Chaser. We love you, dude.
We love you. You're going to embarrass this reporter out there.
Because of Jamie Benn. He cross-checked fucking Stone in the temple. Come on.
Jesus.
I know. Benner's fucking dirty, and I love it. Mm-hmm. But he's dirty. Don't act like he's a fucking, some sort of fucking...
He's just mean.
He's a dick. He's an asshole, and we love it. And he's probably an awesome teammate. He's probably an awesome guy, but he's dirty as fuck.
Yeah. And he doesn't...
So what?
He doesn't show his personality in interviews.
No, but but so what? Just admit that.
Right.
This poor guy, the poor interviewer is just being honest. I didn't like when guys went after you, when you were being honest back in the day.
Yeah.
And so that's why, I'll stick up for this kid. Mm-hmm. We love Chaser. It doesn't matter.
One time I walked into the locker room, I had written something, and a couple players were chirping me. Oh, I saw what you wrote.
You got to deal with it.
And they're like, and Big Walt stood up and goes,
there you go.
He's right.
Funny how that works.
So once,
no, he's fucking right.
So once the alpha stands up,
shit.
And the other guy's like,
"What, Jamie Benn? You fucked up. You're lucky you're in a spot where you could play another game. Mm-hmm. That was 1-0 game.
A couple guys were pretty sensitive. Steiner was very sensitive.
Oh, shit.
And
Brewer was a little bit.
Saboka.
Oh, I like Sobey.
I know. I didn't even chirp him very much. But I maybe
Sobey was?
Listen, true story.
With his big wiener?
One time, a former coach of the Blues.
Yeah.
He called me after a game. I don't want to say which coach it was, because he's still coaching. He called me after.
I know who it is.
Okay.
Assistant coach?
Yeah.
I know.
So he calls me
Still
after a game. What kind of mix?
Still in the mix?
No. Oh, coaching right now? Like his team's still playing?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, then never mind.
No.
You know what I'm thinking of?
With Jamie Compa?
Yeah.
He would never do that. He was never like, he was a video coach here. He was never like a head coach here.
Oh, I thought you meant like he's still coaching.
The guy is still coaching, but just not currently. Like his team's out. Jamie Compa, and I will give him a shout out real quick because
I got him off
he's
track.
one of the greatest
Jesus Christ.
people that I've met in my time.
Awesome.
Great guy, and he's heading to the Stanley Cup final as an assistant coach with his third different organization.
Not bad, eh? Not bad.
He brings the cup back. First time he won the cup with LA, he brought it to St. Louis, dude, because of all the relationships that he has here.
Jamie,
so I'll give him a shout out.
Too.
So anyway, so this coach was getting hammered by the organization or fans and media because of all the too many men on the ice penalties they were getting. And just my guess is probably he was taking some heat from the general manager too. Like, fuck, you better get this under control. Like, enough with the too many men on the ice bench penalties. Like, get your bench under control. No more too many men on the ice penalties. So we got another one. The other team may have scored in the power play. I don't know how it played out. But anyway, after the game, like late after the game, it's like maybe like close to midnight, and my phone rings, and it's the coach. And I answer the phone. He's like, oh, what? I must have pocket dialed you. Oh, just so you know why I have you, that was Sobey's fault on the too many men on the ice penalty. He took his time coming back to the bench, and somebody jumped over, but that's on Sobey. So he was basically throwing Sobey, Vladimir Saboka, under the bus. Because this was a storyline that would not end. It's like one too many men on the ice penalties after another. I said, apparently, Vladimir Saboka is to blame for the latest too many men on the ice penalty because he came back to the bench,
late. He probably
took his time, and somebody jumped over.
Remember how you go to the bench and you do the little T stop?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm lazy.
Oh yeah. So he was pissed about that. So I just remember, but I just remember the coach being like, "Oh, it was a pocket dial." Well, but while I have you, let me just tell you whose fault it was.
They've had history of having weird too many men on the ice for some reason.
Is there?
Well, Berube there has been.
I remember telling Joel Quimbo, I was like, he's a super young reporter. I was like, isn't it on the coach when you get a too many ice penalty?
Kind of.
It's like, whether it's his fault or not, it's on the coach. Like, he's running the bench.
I agree.
Because too many men on the ice penalties often happen because of confusion.
Yeah, who's up?
Who's up, and who's supposed to go, who's not, who has who. So, typically when that happens, I always look at the coach, even though sometimes it may not be the coach's fault.
And again,
so Quimbo was like, well, you can't say that. It's not always on the coach. But, coaches are going to say that.
No, majority of the time is on the coach.
I know.
Too many men? Fuck yeah. That's why it's such a weird thing when it happens, abundantly. Everybody's like, what the fuck?
Let's get Quimbo back behind the bench. How about that?
All right.
I don't like it when I heard someone say the other day, well, you can hire Joe Quimbo, but, now he's been out of the game, and he's just been out of the game too long. Like, what?
Nah.
What, did he forget?
Watching.
Did he forget?
What's he doing? He's watching hockey. He's probably talking to all the coaches that are going.
He didn't take a sabbatical. It's not like he wants to be out of the game anyway.
He's probably talking to Paul Maurice. These guys all talk to each other.
Oh yeah,
they all pick each other's brains.
100%.
He's a savant. He's watching it. Whether he's in Florida, whether he's on his boat, he's watching hockey.
Yeah. What do you think about what Andrew Shaw said?
What did he say?
Oh my God, what have you been doing?
Barbecuing.
This is so unlike you. You're normally way on Twitter, way more than I am.
Andy, you tweet more than any.
No, but you're on. You're constantly on. You're all these whatever.
Not hockey stuff.
He made a comment on a podcast, kind of pointing the finger at Kyle Beach, saying he should never have put himself in that situation.
Oh yeah.
And he took a ton of heat.
Of course he is.
But I will say, Andrew Shaw, man, he speaks He says what he wants, man. He was great when he came on with us. That's all I'll say. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not for me or you to like give the public like.
No, I don't know.
The sad. Well, either I agree or disagree. It's like doesn't matter.
No,
he
both
said
can
it.
Be true.
He said it, but all I'll say is this: Andrew Shaw, when you talk to his former teammates, is a great dude. They all love him, and he was unbelievable when he came on with us. And when you have people who are willing to give their opinion and speak their mind, Cam, more often than not, it can maybe sometimes get you in trouble.
Whatever he said, that could be true. And then having a coach that pursued that, him being a fucking weirdo could be true. And then Joe Quenneville not doing anything about it could be true. The Blackhawks not doing anything about it could be true. All that could be true. The president
completely
so it's like
escaping without blame, and him telling the coach and the general manager,
Jonathan Toews,
that you guys go and focus on playing because I got it. I'm going to take care of it. Yet he never did. He could be blamed too.
He could be blamed too. So
he should be blamed. I've said it over and over for those of you who are listening for the first time. This guy McDonough,
I know.
The president of the Blackhawks. If you want to find the number one person to blame in all of this, it's his ass.
Exactly. They all could be true. So whatever Andrew Shaw said, he could be like, "Hey, don't put yourself in that situation." You're fucking right. And don't put yourself in that situation.
And people are like, "What do you mean?
What do you mean?
He trusted the coach.
Fuck that.
The coach. He was going as the
He's
video
a fucking
coach.
video coach. You're smart enough to know that guy shouldn't be hanging out with you.
Yeah.
What are you, 10?
He wasn't going over to Joel Quenneville's house to watch
10 years old?
Video.
Like, Andy, come on. Fuck, when I first started playing juniors, and if the video coach is hanging out with you, partying, you're like, this is fucking odd. Mm-hmm. 15 years old.
You may hear this like in football. You may see like the quarterback and the head coach get together to watch video and stuff like that. Like some of that,
Andy,
that happens.
Watch video?
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Not go bang fucking broads and drink all fucking night. It's a big difference. Mm-hmm. He might take you out to dinner in a nice little area, but not hang out all night partying and go, hey, what are you doing tonight now? That's a different story.
You can be overly critical, but like at the same time,
they all are wrong. There's a bit of wrong in everything.
There's a lot of blame to go around.
Yes, that could be
true. But
I
think the majority of the blame goes on McDonough.
And I'm sorry about not knowing that. I don't know why I didn't see that.
Because you don't know shit today, and that's why you have not brought your A game. Because you're.
I'm not going to rely on you to tell stories.
This guy's barbecuing.
I know.
This
like story time.
This guy can't do anything else when he barbecues.
It's my fault. My bad. I was just chilling all weekend. I don't know. My bad. I didn't see that tweet.
You didn't see anything. This guy's going to bed at 7:00 at night.
I did. I went to bed at 7:00 at night last night.
So all the kids out there, listen, you got to have the work ethic, man. You got to have the work ethic. Don't be like Cam today, who just gave zero work ethic.
So all I did was work to get where I'm at. I mean, really, I just didn't pay attention to anything. Damn. I didn't have the fucking.
Well, now you feel.
I did yard work too.
What kind of yard work?
I fucking put mulch down and stuff. I bought a bunch of mulch because it was cheap. We're just saving money to do some extra labor so we don't have to have fucking Mitchell come do it for $3,000.
Mitchell?
Yeah, that's her copy. So it's like I had time off, so I did things. I just didn't pay attention to much.
I had a fire going yesterday, dude. Look at that.
What time?
Oh, dude, all night long.
Yeah.
It was so nice. It was a beautiful night out last night.
So nice here.
And look, I had my kid. I'm making him do yard work.
Yeah, let him blow the fuck out of all that. Yeah. What's he blowing? Nothing.
No, he's just cleaning up the grass because like the guy, whatever, there's some loose grass up there.
He's doing nothing.
He's not doing nothing.
He's doing nothing. He's blowing grass with no reason.
I'm like, you go get the damn blower.
No, tell him to blow the fucking the patio off.
Oh, dude, we've got these woodpeckers, man, that are coming in my
take care of them.
My wood beams in front of the house, And they're like,
they'll fuck that up.
And I'm coming out in the mornings, and there's fucking wood chips everywhere.
Well, they're eating things in there, but they'll tear.
What are they eating? Bugs in there? Now, listen, cedar wood, very high quality cedar wood that has the beams. Doesn't it like regrow itself? I heard something like that. Will wood regrow?
I don't know. Andy looked something up on YouTube. And then he's going to ask me a question, which he knows the answer to.
No, I don't.
And then I don't fucking know.
I think wood like kind of regrows or something.
I wouldn't count on it.
Like a tree, you ever like a piece of bark or something like.
Well, if you cut a tree enough, it's not going to grow back.
Remember my baby tree in the back, my Canadian morning glory maple?
Yeah, looks good.
Look how big it's getting.
Looks good. You got one tree in your backyard.
I know.
Congrats.
I thought about getting some more shrubs. I had landscaper come out and give me some ideas. But I just feel like it's going to take up a lot of space. I just don't want to do that.
No, you could use a couple things. You don't need that much land.
Grass looks great, though, man.
It's really good. And it hasn't been raining either, so you're doing pretty. Whoever's doing that looks pretty good.
I'm doing that.
See, I can give compliments out.
I know it's good. Well, you deserve it based on your work ethic today.
I came here, didn't I?
This guy is. I'm barbecuing. I'm going to bed at 7:00. I'm so tired from barbecuing.
I just ate too much.
I mean, I'm making.
What do you want me to do?
I'm making cowboy ribeyes and engaging with Bucci, talking ribeyes.
And he tweets on Twitter
like a fucking cowboy.
Brags about himself like
a cowboy on Twitter.
I'm not gonna.
And Cam's sleeping, but my neighbor, dude, is coming after the guy who cuts my grass, Jose. Yeah, that's why my grass looks like Petco Field from San Diego. Jose does a hell of a job, brings a team out there. All of a sudden, Praveen is yelling at him the other day. I'm like, what is going on? And he claimed my neighbor.
Praveen, she sounds fun.
So he's coming after the guy who cuts the grass, saying that he cut his air conditioning cord. I'm like, and he's like, well, what do you want him to do? Like, two guys, no one speaks English in this whole conversation. It's like, I'm like the mediator.
Brody, what do I do about this?
I'm like the mediator. No one knows what each other's are saying.
I should have looked things up.
Nobody speaks any English.
What am I doing? I do miss the water, man. I work with guys that don't know how to swim, and I just don't get it.
Really?
I just don't get it. I go, how the fuck do you not know how to swim? And they're like, my parents didn't want to take me. And I go, why? How the fuck does that happen? Mm. Like, you learn how to swim as a kid. Like, there's so many things that we all do that involve water. Like, even walking on a dock. Like, if I had a dock, I wouldn't even want to be on the dock because he'd fall in and die. Mm-hmm. And I'm not getting him. You're not getting him. We'll fucking sink with him. How the fuck do you not know how to swim?
Listen,
like, you got to learn that. You're missing out on a lot of shit.
There's a lot of people. My brother, one of my brothers, was never a very good swimmer. He was always afraid of the water. Like, he'd get terrible ear infections.
Well, that's different. If you get ear infections, but if he fell in, so you can't go in, you can't even go to a pool. Like, if he goes in a deep end, he's done.
But
you can't.
But
fucking
I
get
thought
him out of
human beings are kind of like dogs, where they just automatically know how to swim.
No, Andy, no, fuck no. And remember that with your kids too. You can't just throw your kid in a fucking pool.
My little Ty and Ivy already know how to swim.
Well, because you took them places.
Yeah.
And you taught them.
I know. Well, yeah.
Man,
because it was very important because they go over to friends' houses. Exactly. They go swimming with friends. I can't have my kids not knowing how to swim.
Exactly. My point. Imagine little Ivy going to a friend's house. Well, she can't go over there. They got a pool. Right. She can't go there.
I know.
Well, what the fuck is that? Now you have to doll her up with all this shit. You can't go on a boat. You can't go to Mark Twain Lake. You can't go to Table Rock because she might fall in.
You know
that sucks.
You know I drowned twice.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. One time in preschool, I jumped into the pool without my floaties on, dude.
Was it preschool or was it 9th grade?
Preschool.
I should have read more things, Brody. I just should have read more fucking things this weekend. God damn it. Fuck.
Don't ever do this again.
I did save a fucking kid's life, man.
I know. We know that story, but
I did. It was horrible.
So I jumped in, no floaties, and they had to jump in and get me.
Yeah, dude.
And then the other time I talked about when I was on a float trip, I told you the story at the same time when you told the story about how you saved that one kid, and then you ran into the kid's mom at their ice rink or something like that.
Yes. She thought I was my cousin.
Yes, she did.
But no, did you get caught in that goddamn thing?
My shirt got caught.
I know.
Under the tree branch
I chirp you for everything. And when you want to bring up barbecuing, I'm going to fucking... But this is I'm dead serious on this, what Andy did. He got his goddamn... Why'd you have your fucking shirt on?
I was on a canoe.
Why would you have your shirt on?
It wasn't the whole day. It just so happened at the time.
And you had it on? All right, I'm just asking.
Just so happened at the moment.
Because that's just more shit that can get
sometimes
caught.
you're getting burnt or something like that.
I get that.
Dude, it's you're on the water for 10 hours.
So would you flip over and you get caught in a goddamn...
I got caught in a little heavy current.
Damn it.
Where there's a big tree branch in the middle of the water. And all of a sudden you see it literally bent the canoe in half and it split in half, dude.
Dude. Fuck that.
So I get caught under the funnel, and underwater, the back of my shirt gets caught.
Get it off. Get it off.
So I'm kicking my boy Ryan right next to me as hard as I can. I'm kicking him.
You're losing energy doing that.
And he was able to rescue me.
You just have to get out of it. You have to calm down. Just calm down and just get yourself out. Then, you can't be, well, help. No, just calm.
No, you got to stay calm.
Andy, I'm glad you brought that up because that is such a big thing, man. Yeah. Like, all of a sudden you're like, where the fuck is he at? Mm-hmm. No, he's caught up in some jam. You got to be careful with that stuff, dude. You got to know how to swim.
Yeah, there's no question.
Just learn how to swim. That. There's just too many, you're doing too many things throughout your life to where you're around water. Mm-hmm. Like you should be, because water is like the coolest thing in the world. Like it is.
Yes. The water will get you.
Your kids know how to swim?
Mm-hmm. All right. Ty's not like full on there, but
he can fucking tread water. Like, I know what's up.
Like, I don't know yet because like in the shallow end, like he's swimming around everywhere. I haven't the last 2 days.
Andy, you do stuff outside.
No, but he did like swim lessons all off season and stuff like that. That's all I'm asking. Last year, towards the end of the summer, he was pretty much. I just hadn't in the last 2 days of our first 2 days of swimming here this summer. I have not thrown him in the deep end yet.
All right. Keep going.
So we'll get doing that.
Because you do so much stuff. Yeah. You're an outdoor. Like, I chirp you, but you do a lot.
I'm very outdoors.
You are. And now if he falls in something, you're going to save him? Get the fuck out of here.
Thinking about chopping some wood later today.
I'm going to be doing some shit.
Yeah, okay. Can you stay awake past 7? I'm bringing the family out to St. Albans today.
No, you're not.
Come on, let's take Ty on the side-by-side, dude.
Man.
Let's do it. I'm bringing them all out. We'll be there about 3.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, man. You just can't invite yourself out like that. It just doesn't work that way, you know. Like
we'll be there at 3.
I just gotta I want to chill today, man. This is my last day. Gotta get up early tomorrow. We got another interview tomorrow.
I'll just hang out with other people in St. Albans.
That's fine. If you want to come out and hang out with other people, that's fine with me. Good God.
Well, I'll see you at 3. Okay.
I'll be there.
All right. You know the Cam Strick Podcast is brought to you by Hair Club, baby. 800-279-7878. Yeah, Hair Club and hairclub.com. Get that blue pill. Ask about all the locations and all the solutions, Cam. There is a solution for everybody, including you.
Always a solution. Just go get your consultation. Easy peasy. They know exactly what's going on.
Yes.
And they will help you with anything you need to goddamn do.
And do it today.
That simple.
And do it today. Can you finish it with saying, and do it today?
And do it today. Okay.
Bellman and Bellman.com, baby. Say hi to Danny, boy.
Yeah. Hey, Danny.
You know, Danny's doing that today. He's having a good time.
I hope he's not working today, man.
I don't even know if they're open today.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope they get some time off.
Are they?
They probably want to be.
Kenny. Oh, listen, Kenny's got that work ethic. He'll be working today.
Oh, yeah, probably.
And
somebody's
Dale.
working.
And
dude.
Dale.
Even on Memorial Day.
Hey, we're working.
People are probably out. Like,
we are working
buy fucking
today.
Cars, dude. It's beautiful out. Yes. I bet you somebody's working there.
You and I are working today.
I know. This guy just should have paid attention.
He wanted to chirp me. He said, "Oh, you had to work on Memorial Day." Well, you know, I always feel bad for those newscasters on Christmas Day. I'm like, oh, they got the shit sandwich, man.
That's what I mean. That's all I meant.
Like, it's like.
But you made a good point at the end with that.
Yes, I did.
I was
wrapped it all in.
You wrapped it around with a bow. No, like, that's what the fuck you do.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
Pisses me off.
Yes,
it does.
That's exactly what you do.
You do work, Andy. You work hard. Now, you don't. If I tell you to be somewhere, like, you don't really care about me, but you got to where you're at because of work ethic.
That's not true about.
It's all good.
Whatever. Okay.
Like, I got to take a little.
Let's go golfing today.
Man, I've been golfing too much, dude. God,
Jesus, this guy.
I know. I'm just like,
spend your Memorial Day with Cam. He's a party. You'll have a good time.
I had people out.
You'll have
a
good time.
They had a great time. They barely made it home. Fuck, it's kind of scary.
Oh my God, you gotta be careful with that. You know.
I know. I gotta Uber,
especially out by you.
I know. I gotta Uber people out.
They're looking to get you.
They'll get you.
They'll get you. First Form and firstform.com, man. That'll have you looking good no matter what you're doing.
We better look good coming up this weekend.
Well, there's no question about that.
We're going to be the ugliest people there.
Like, hi.
Who are these mutants?
like
you don't look the part.
You don't.
No, they don't.
They would never be like that.
They would never be. We think that way because we're
joking.
We're joking. But dude, that's why I can't wait to go and say hey to everybody.
Oh my God.
Everybody's so sweet.
And they got the surprise,
who knows what
concert
be.
or whatever.
I know.
We don't even know what it's going to be.
Badass. Fucking.
I'm going to keep Cam out past 6.
What if it's Pantera? What if he has Pantera out just for me?
I'm going to keep Cam out past like 6 o'clock.
What if he has some shit-kicking heavy metal band? He's like, Cam.
Well, I don't want to hear that.
He's like, Cam.
I don't want to hear that.
I got the fucking shit kickers tonight.
They're not even.
I'll be like,
they're not even into that.
I'll be like, what?
Nobody likes those bands.
I'll be like, God dang right, boy, I'm staying.
Nobody likes those bands.
I do. I like to be different, Andy. I like all your buddies. What they hate, I like. Seriously, everybody at the Creve Coeur Racket Club, just go do Just do like a fucking a survey and see what they hate, and I'm gonna like that.
Oh, really?
I know.
I think
and what they like,
actually,
I'm not gonna like.
I'll bring you and Kate there one day.
Dude, you would have to really crawl me out of a fucking hole to go there.
You would absolutely.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
Why would I? Tell me one reason. No, so you're gonna be cryptic? Tell me one reason why I'd like to be there.
I think you'd love it.
So you want me to take Kate somewhere so I could look at fucking women?
She'll like it too.
No, she wouldn't. There's hot chicks everywhere. Fuck no. So I say at a racket
Does she
club?
wear a thong bikini?
Kind of.
Does she?
Yeah.
You think that's trashy, or you think it's
Fuck
okay?
no.
Like a thong bikini?
Not the thong, but yeah, it's a little tight up there.
Okay.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Show that ass off.
Yeah, tight is one thing.
Not a thong.
Thong.
Hey, this was going years ago, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a tight body, you wear that thong, dude.
Yeah, you wear that.
Fuck yeah.
Even on the beach, and I mean, at the pool, the neighborhood, the Creekport Racket Club, I don't think they may kick you out.
Well, that's why I'm not going there. Andy wants me to go there because of that, but they're wearing those fucking fart
just
catchers.
wear a classy
wearing fucking
bikini.
fart catchers there. I ain't going and watching that shit.
Is that what you call those?
Fart catchers?
Wear a classy bikini that can be very sexy.
That's
too.
tight. A little
yeah.
tight up
the
ass.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wears that.
You gotta flaunt that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
That's
you do.
Women do.
That's exactly what you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yes. And you know what? You can have a lot of confidence when you know your roof is in good shape too, Cam.
Of course, man.
Like
I'll be
Tesson
golfing
Roofing.
my boy.
Tesson Roofing.
He's
what up,
to
Brett?
St. Albans.
Brett Tesson. Listen, you got a lot of options for roofing and exterior, but you want to make sure you're supporting the right people who do it the right way, dude.
They're the real
They're
deal.
getting like a national award or something like that.
They are.
Like,
they're multiple.
I know. And like they fly them out to like, where do you say, New Orleans or something?
Wherever. Doesn't matter.
It's like, yeah, like all casual. He's like, yeah, we're getting like a national award.
I know. Go take it.
Like they give it to like, how many roofing companies are there, you think, in the country?
Oh, fuck, in Missouri?
And in the country, though.
Even in Missouri, a ton.
And he's getting the award?
Exactly. They're the real deal. Homegrown. Awesome.
Ask about that nanotech, baby.
Damn right. That's high quality. That's high tech. That's what you want to save money when you have a roof and all that shit, man. You want to save money on your heating. It's hot as shit here. Mm-hmm.
No, you want to make sure you're not replacing your roof in the next couple of years.
Well, no doubt, man. But sometimes you have to. Mm-hmm. You get rocked by hail. Gotta get taken care of.
They're the exclusive dealer for the state of Missouri and Iowa for nanotech.
Damn right.
I'm thinking about getting a little nanotech this weekend, actually. The weekend's still not even over
yet.
Money.
Save you money on your...
They'd be like, damn, Strick Nasty, how'd you get that new car? I'd be like, I saved money from nanotech.
Yeah. How'd you get that new Volvo?
How'd you get that Volvo Racing Series? I'm saving money from nanotech.
And he brags about his Volvo. Come on. I mean, it's a nice car, but you don't brag about it.
It's nanotech.
You brag about that, but not your new Volvo.
How dare you talk about it like that?
Your Volvo?
I have a scratch on my front fender.
Because your wife?
No,
you did it. You did it.
Mm-hmm. But I gave the insurance and everything to the person. I think the statute of limitations now are run out. They never followed up.
You'll be all right.
Didn't really do much.
Keep checking the mail. Keep checking that mail, dude.
It was at my kid's school, too.
Yeah. Oh, that makes it better. Went at the Home Depot. I was at your fucking kid's school with cameras.
I felt terrible.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Anyway.
You'll get that notice.
All right, well, I got to get out of here because I got to see if Jose and Praveen are, like, still going at it. It is not a good scene.
Yeah.
How do I handle this one, Cam? Do I just
let them cut your goddamn grass and make sure your grass is nice? They're not cutting your cables.
No, he's not cutting anything. Except the grass. He does an amazing job, too. So, anyway, I'll give you the update on that next time. We'll make him a sponsor.
Well, then,
who are you talking about?
Whoever is cutting your goddamn grass.
Jose?
Yeah, no shit.
He's not a sponsor. But we can always make him one. But anyway, say one more thing about Pierre Dorion.
Hey, he was great. He come on our podcast for an hour and 15 minutes. You're damn right. Great guy. Talked about a lot of things.
Originally, he was like, I got like 15 minutes for you.
Yeah, he was
guys.
fine. Yeah.
And then he's like, just chilling.
Yeah, he's chilling, dude. He gets it.
Hey, he made one thing clear, though. I said to him after the show, I said, listen, enjoy that cottage time. He's like, I'm still working out here, you know. It's not like he's just chilling in the cottage.
Fuck that, though. I'd go to college and work. That cottage. And you make your phone calls
That's
there. Get away from everybody.
Way better view.
You have your coffee in the morning. Make your phone calls. Get it done. Get it done there. Now you're in your happy place. Fuck yeah.
10-year limited systems warranty can be reapplied after inspection on year 11 or for 10 or more years, Cam. And that is nanotech.
Damn right.
Can you repeat what I just said?
It's nanotech, dude.
It's a holiday weekend. I'm heading out to Cam's area. We'll give you the report on how that went next week. We look forward to that. Cam and Kate are having us over. Make sure you need buns or anything, Cam?
No, man, I'm good. Okay.
Just making sure you good.
You eat carbs.
All right, man. Follow us on all the social media.
Everything.
Instagram, Twitter. Send us messages, man. We love hearing from everybody. Facebook, TikTok, and camstrick.com if you missed any past episodes.
Keep tabs with all of us. We got our DMs open. Anything you need.
Oh, yeah, you can always slide into my DMs. Guys, send me whatever you want.
Let's wrap this up.
Okay, just send me whatever you want. My DMs are open. Man. Slide into my DMs.
2.5 hours.
Yes, slide into my DMs.
2.5 hours.
And we'll talk to you next time. We'll talk to you next. Yes.
Delete 50% of it.
Slide into my DMs. We'll talk to you next time.
See you guys. Love y'all.